Oh, hey, what's going on? Sean in the Yukon in the chat comments with the following. Cool of Azzo to let a young up-and-comer host the show yesterday. That Sid guy was pretty good. Reminded me of an OG from The Score. Glad I finally got my break. Hit the countdown, Azzo.
For the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K,
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
You are now listening to The Sid Seixeiro Show. Powered by Sick Media, the sickest Toronto sports show. Now, here's your host, Sid.
What up? It's Sid. Where are we at here in April? It's April the 8th. Wednesday, April the 8th. Busy time. Masters around the corner. Tomorrow, actually, the Masters begins. And we are live on X. We are live on YouTube. We got plenty going on here. Quick comment in the chat from Slosh Hogger. Slosh writes the following. On my third coffee today, buzzing with the Sid coffee mug. Got some weird looks in my office. Why do I have a Seixeiro mug? Well, sickattire.com. If you would like your own Seixeiro Show powered by Sick Media mug and other stuff, like the hoodie that Azzo wore Monday. You wore a Seixeiro Show hoodie Monday, right?
I did.
All right. If you want any of that stuff, go to sickattire.com and you can own it. It's a very simple transaction and you will accomplish it in due time. Speaking of coffee, I ever since I was paid by anybody to speak in front of a mic,
You're getting paid?
But for now. For now.
Damn it.
But since I've been paid, shockingly, to speak in front of people, I've had one tradition in the morning, and that's going through like a breakfast drive-thru every morning. I don't care how old I've been. I don't care how good looking I've been. Most of the time, I've been pretty good looking. I've had that tradition. I go into a morning drive-thru and get my stuff. Whatever my stuff is, changes with the wind. Today, I went through my drive-thru, made my order, left, put my car in park, because I do a little car eating. Nothing wrong with car eating. Safer than driving. Park my car, half my order is missing. Doesn't sound like a big deal. For those of you who live and die with this tradition, you know full well the dent that can put in your morning. It was an unforeseen obstacle. So I had one of two choices. Lose my mind in the car and go on with my day and try and recover, or take a moment, breathe, go back to the drive-thru, explain the situation, and rectify the situation. I decided to take a breath, which is unlike me sometimes. I took a breath because an accident was made, no big deal. Go back to the drive-thru, got it rectified. A slight hurdle in my day. You have two choices. You either lose it or you kind of figure it out and then move on. So today, I made the uncharacteristically sane choice of moving on with my day. But I don't like my morning thing screwed up. I don't like that. The Jays are kind of facing a similar situation. Their start to the season, much like my morning today, had a hiccup. Now, no one could see my hiccup. I'm explaining to you my hiccup. The rest of us on Sportsnet and in the building are watching every hiccup. We're watching all of it. And I would like to say, Paul in the chat, Sid, just start fasting. No, I need my morning stuff. I need it. I need a jolt, just like the Leafs. Leafs need a jolt too. Yeah. And the Jays need a jolt.
Yep.
So the Jays are in the same spot where things are not going well to start their year, to start their journey, to start their trek. And you have one of two options. You either flip out or you settle down and try and figure it out. Now, the Jays last night dropped to 4-7 on the year. Winnable game. Very winnable game. I haven't said this much this year. The bullpen did their job, and Gausman was okay. But it didn't work out for him. And there's two lanes to this highway. One is, okay, bad start, not good. Second is, we hate everything Dodgers. Please beat the Dodgers. Neither is going in the Jays' favor right now. Neither. So at some point, you need a jolt. You need something to happen. You need a shift in energy. There's a bunch of guys hurt. Apparently, the Jays clubhouse is the only clubhouse in baseball with a flu bug in it. Everyone else is super healthy, apparently. But you need a jolt. And there was a moment in the fifth inning last night against the Dodgers where there was a balk called on Kevin Gausman. Now, I'll level with you. I'm not balk expert guy. Never have been. I see things. I don't see things. I agree with an ump. I agree with a pitcher. It's not exactly a black and white issue, the box. But Kevin Gausman does this jig where he's playing like Dance Dance Revolution, and he's stomping his foot, and you don't know what he's really going to do next. Is it a quick pitch to the mound? Did he come to a full stop? Does the hitter have a chance? Because the hitters need a chance, right? That's the rule, guys. The hitters need a chance. You need to stop, set, then throw. You just can't be this constant thing. Because I think that's a fair rule. You can't get stupid about it. So, umpire Dan Merzel last night behind the plate said balk on Kevin Gausman. And considering everything that's gone on here, John Schneider saw an opportunity. He decided when he walked out, I'm going to use this as a PR stunt instead of actually being this angry, much like he did with Max Scherzer in Seattle in the ALCS. He was never taking Max Scherzer out of that game. He wanted the viral moment. Because there is an element to Schneider that's about Schneider. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you. So Schneider goes out to the home plate umpire last night, Dan Merzel. They say a few things. Merzel chucks him. And John Schneider, do you remember back in the day, like there'd be a moment where Andre the Giant got really angry? Like I remember there was one match at Madison Square Garden. I think it was Rowdy Piper. Somebody cheap shotted Andre the Giant. I think it was Cowboy Bob Orton with the cast that was always loaded. Cowboy Bob Orton, I think, cheap shotted Andre, and he had to go back for stitches. And then out of nowhere, Andre runs out. I don't know if you remember Madison Square Garden for wrestling back in the day. Like the back entrance and the ring were like 8 feet apart. Like you can get to the ring in 2 seconds. So Andre's flying, and for a big man, flying in, bandage, and everyone's scattered. John Schneider got that angry last night at Merzel, the home plate ump. And we have a still of it. Most of you have seen the video. John Schneider is a large human being. His face, for the listening audience in this photo, is redder than a Team Canada hockey jersey. And I got to give Dan Merzel credit. He did not back down at all. At all. In fact, I can't believe I haven't read anything to this effect. I thought I read Dan Merzel's lips say, watch the finger. I think Schneider may have made contact with the umplane up. I could be wrong in that. If we don't hear anything else about it, then obviously he didn't. But I think by the end of that, Merzel was saying, watch your finger. And John Schneider was in a moment there. He was hoping it would galvanize the group. It did not. And I don't blame him for trying to galvanize. Like, you're about to go to 4-7. You're probably going to 4-8 today because Shohei Ohtani's taking you on the mound. We'll get to that in a second. 3:07 start, by the way. And I'm like, okay, at least Schneider tried to galvanize the crew. The crew were like comatose. Like, there was no reaction to that from the Jays. None. The only guy who tried to do anything later that inning, I believe, was Brandon Valenzuela, who was the only one who understood the assignment and tried to hurt Shohei Ohtani. He like punched his elbow. He tried to backpick a guy at first, and he punched Ohtani in the elbow. I don't know why we're not making more of this. Brandon Valenzuela earned points for me last night. The third string young catcher for the Blue Jays. I'm good with it. Ohtani was pissed. Ohtani didn't like it. I digress. So I'm like, in the moment, I'm like, good for John Schneider for trying. But by the end of the clip you're about to hear, it was also obvious that Schneider was just kind of blowing steam for himself. It wasn't really about the team. And he's explaining the balk call on Kevin Gausman last night and the reaction. And this last line to this clip. God, I hate this last line. I really hate this last line. You can be the judge. Absorb it how you want. But there is a showmanship element to Schneider that comes out once in a while, and it's pretty transparent, and I don't like it. Because it's not helpful to anyone but him. Here's the clip. Pay attention to the last line.
Set, kind of tap. He was kind of the poster child for complete body stop a couple of years ago. I remember back in Baltimore a few years ago, he got called for one, and he's very well aware of that. And when you look at it, it's a Kev came set. It was a slide step to, control the running game. So definitely was not a balk. I'm not going to move off of that. What you see in real time is usually right. Then when you look at it on video, it was definitely right. So just didn't appreciate the fact that there's 4 umpires and one of them thought he saw something. So that was all I told him. It's, you don't have to get creative. Kev's been pitching for 10 years and he's been doing that for 10 years. So, felt kind of nice to get a little frustration out.
And there it is. Felt kind of nice to get some frustration out. I don't doubt it. If you're the manager of a team, I don't want to say he's feeling heat. That's stupid. We're 11 games in. They almost won the World Series 12 games ago. Everyone relax. He's not feeling heat. But he's frustrated. And I'm sure some of that yelling he was doing at Dan Merzel, he would have loved to have done to some of his own players publicly. I'm sure of it. But that last line, nice to get some frustration out. I remember a time, guys, I hate to go back to this period of time, but I think we're all of like minds. The Jays in 2015 or 16 were good enough to win a World Series. I believe that. I 100% believe that. You know what they weren't good at doing? Not pissing umpires off. Whether it was Batista, Stroman, Donaldson, Gibby, I don't care who it is. That was one of the whiniest teams I've ever seen in the city. Front to back. Now, they also stuck up for each other occasionally, which I love. But there was a moment with both of those teams. It was like they never legitimately struck out ever. They had a beef with every call. Edwin, everybody. And I do believe at times it really hurt them with the umps. I don't think they got the grace they should have. If they did, they would have got to one of those World Series, specifically 2015. I think they would have got there. They were good enough in 2015. I think the way they handled the umps had a little something to do with it. The last thing this Jays team needs right now is a manager taking glee and yelling at Dan Merzel. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but umpires are kind of under attack right now with the ABS. They're in a mood, okay? I love the ABS, but there are guys getting embarrassed left and right, as they should. But my point is, maybe feelings are a bit more sensitive than they used to be. The Jays have enough issues. Let's not pick fights with umps. All right? Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Now, I know there's challenges. I know there's ABS. You're protected in a few areas. I get it. But for things like last night, you're not. If they want to call a balk on you, they're calling a balk on you. You have no recourse. None. Let's not do the John Schneider grandstanding thing. Let's just move on. Which I thought he was going to do earlier in the press conference after the game last night, but he went back and said, yeah, it felt good to yell at that ump. Felt good. What the hell is that going to get you? What the hell is that going to get you? I hope he was that upset after the IKF Game 7 incident last season. I hope he was yelling at someone behind the scenes that hard. He better have. Even if it was himself, he better have. Listen, John Schneider has come out of nowhere and nearly won a World Series in this town. That's no joke. I have a lot of respect for that. He ain't Cito. He needs to kind of watch his step with this team. They were last 2 years ago. They nearly won it all last year. What are they really? What are they really? I don't know. I'm not panicking. They're 4-7. Are there people legitimately panicking listening to this? I hope you're not. At some point this year, I might. But I hope you're not after 11 games. Now, after showing makes you 4-8 today, maybe it's different. Maybe you panic a bit more. Wacky in the chat, Sid, I'm panicking. Slosh Hogger in the chat, no reason to panic. Yusuf in the chat, I'm getting nervous. Swarto in the chat, I'm concerned.
I'm ... concerned.
Yes. Here's my favorite one so far. Now Awake writes, without Bichette, Jays are the Leafs. I disagree with that. I kind of disagree with that a little bit. Anyway, my point is, I think you're fighting enough things. Let's not make new enemies, Mr. Schneider. Let's not make new enemies. But I understand blowing off some steam. If you want to do that, why don't you yell at Dalton Varsho and his 180 average or whatever the hell he's hitting right now? Why don't you do that? How about that? After Varsho hit 227 last postseason. We don't talk about that much, do we? Nope. There's different ways to blow off steam. What I'm saying here is I don't know why the Jays didn't really react to that the way I thought they would. And I thought they'd react differently to the biggest bunt of the season by Ernie Clement in the 7th inning. That was the biggest crowd pop for a bunt I've seen in years. I thought that would be a moment the Jays would kind of go, okay, here we go. Nope. At some point, something's going to spark this group. Might have to be a fight like between the Braves and the Angels last night. I don't know. Might have to be something. But one of those things has to happen. Because right now, it is zombie land. It is zombie land in terms of energy. And maybe it is the flu. I don't know. We've all had the flu. It sucks. It sucks. But I got news for you. The Dodgers have played a lot of baseball the last 2 or 3 years. They look fresh. They look right as rain. What the hell's going on with the Jays? Where's that WBC energy from Vladdy? Where's that? Well, I'm legitimately asking. Jimenez was just part of a Venezuela win at the WBC. Where is all this energy? Ernie Clement didn't even play. He didn't play in the WBC. He was there for the States. He didn't play. He should have energy. This spark is going to happen, I'm telling you. The baseball season's too long. The spark will happen. I'm just kind of surprised it didn't happen last night. Because some people tried multiple times to provide a spark. Maybe today against Shohei Ohtani. Jeff has a party. Good afternoon.
Hello, Sydney. I can't believe you're bringing that. Like you kind of teed it up perfectly for me.
For a change.
For a change. Because had you not stopped Takari, which is very underrated as your point, because then you get to make sure everything's there in your order. Had you brought your order in here to eat and then you noticed that it wasn't all there, you would have taken it out on me. You would have started in a mood. And then you were really mad at Tim's, but you would have been yelling at me. I'm sorry, did you say it was Tim's? I don't even know where you get your breakfast.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter where you get your breakfast.
Wherever they make breakfast. Yeah. It doesn't matter where
I just assumed.
But like someone in the chat is like, Freddie Freeman t-shirt?
It is.
Is that Kira? Hold on, show off the t-shirt.
All
What do you got? Go full screen. Azzo's wearing a Freddie Freeman Superman
Would this
shirt.
be uncalled for at the ballpark if I wear a Jays jacket with a Freddie Freeman shirt?
Yes. Yes. Like that clown behind home plate with an Otani sign last night. Did you see that?
Did you see Marlins guy was there last night?
What is Marlins guy doing here?
That's how much people care about this series, I guess.
Pull his visa.
I agree.
What the hell is that guy doing?
I took a shot of it.
By the way, he has the worst gimmick in the world.
Worst. He hasn't changed.
Worst. That's like me walking around being Vancouver Canucks, man.
I couldn't even remember how he became a thing. When was it?
I don't know.
I meant to look it up, and then I didn't even care enough.
But he was basically showing up with hookers behind home plate, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And that's like, awful. Oh, look at this guy.
And that awful orange.
Why are the Jays letting in Marlins man?
And you know what I hate?
Someone stop this with the Jays. Why don't you give Marlins man a banner?
When people go to games, and it's like a baseball game, so I'll wear anything baseball I have, like any team. Like the guy's dressed in all orange. I had a picture of it. I forgot that.
Marlins man needs to. The guy in the sequin jacket is bugging me enough behind home plate.
Yes, I can't say
that guy. Now, the dude with the arms who got the haircut, fine with him. I'm not saying a bad thing about him. He's great. Sequin jacket guy behind home plate is bothering me. Marlins man has no business in one of those seats.
I agree.
None. And
I agree.
And it's not because I would love Azzo and I to sit in those seats one day. It's nothing to do with it.
No, it throws off the vibes. I don't need somebody in orange back there. Get out of here.
That Marlins idiot. First off, the Marlins are playing somewhere else.
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
At least in the postseason, the guy's like, well, the Marlins never make the postseason. I'll go somewhere else where a Fox camera is, and I'll get on camera.
Did they pay for him?
I have no idea.
I found it very
how that
weird
works with Marlins man. So last night, Marlins man. Last night, this fan with an Ohtani sign behind home plate. Then it's sequin jacket guy who's high-fiving people when he leaves like he got 3 hits and did actual work. I don't know what that guy's deal is. Like, it's just a gong show behind home plate. The Jays, stop with Marlins man. Let's start there.
Don't let him in.
Stop.
Don't
let
him
in.
Tickets.
Who the hell is Marlins man?
Or make him change.
It's the worst gimmick in sports. And people just let him in like he's Jack Nicholson.
I know. It's awful.
It's ridiculous.
I couldn't even remember how or when he became a thing, and I couldn't even be bothered to look it up. That's how much I don't care about him. But he annoyed me seeing him right behind the plate.
Unbelievable.
Anyway.
There's a lot of hate right now in the chat. It's just, I hate Marlins, man. I love Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, of course.
That's all
you gotta love Freddie.
That's all it is.
Anyways, but yeah, so he's got to take out some frustration. Like you, I was hoping it made them find a way to win that game last night. I was really hoping there was a way they could pull it off and it could maybe start a turnaround, but it didn't. They had their opportunities. Like last night, I didn't really feel any way about it. They got beat by a pitcher who's probably top 3 in the league. I think he was top 3 in ERA last year.
It's not like Yamamoto was lights out.
No,
he was pretty good.
They had their opportunities. We'll say that.
In comparison to the last few times that Jay saw him, he wasn't
fair.
lights out.
That's fair.
That was a winnable game. The bullpen was okay.
Yeah.
Gosman was okay. That was a winnable game last night.
It told me feel a bit better about the bullpen. Like, to your point, the problem with the bullpen is there isn't depth. But you got 4 guys in there you can kind of trust in moments to get you through it and keep the game close. You got Varlin, you got Rogers. I'll throw Hoffman in there. And who am I missing? There's one more. I can't even remember. Varlin, Rogers, and Fluharty.
Yeah.
Like, you got 4 guys.
And whoever.
There's other guys who can get you through if you need it. Like, I'm not feeling.
Oh, yeah. The Josh Fleming's throwing 90.
No, not Josh
throwing
Fleming.
90 from the left side.
No, but I'll hear you on, what's his name? Spencer Miles. And I don't know. Even oh, man. Why am I blanking on that?
Well, because guys are in and out. The Jays have used 18 pitchers.
Tommy Nance.
In 10 games.
Yeah, no, it's a record. It was a record.
I believe they used 18 like all of last year.
Yeah.
It's some crazy number like that.
But dude, once Yimi Garcia gets back, and like, what the hell happened to Yariel?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, you're calling up guys and Yariel isn't one of them who's showing he can do it here? I did look up his stats. Not great, but he's pitching in Buffalo. Like, I'm amazed that you wouldn't call up a guy who's done it up here before. And Braden Fisher hasn't pitched since Chicago.
Yeah, what's going on with Braden Fisher?
Yeah, because I think he has a 0.00 ERA still.
By the way, we haven't mentioned yesterday, all of a sudden Cody Ponce needs surgery for the ACL.
And done for the year.
Done for 6 months.
Done for the year.
And then they did put a screw in the wrist of Alejandro Kirk.
Some more extra time added on.
So good luck for this young man to look anywhere close to where he was when he comes back.
Yeah,
like,
well,
that's going to be.
Both of them are going to take a while to get, Kirky too. Kirky especially, even when he does come back, it's going to take him a while to get going.
By the way,
the Clement bunt I did have a little bit of a problem with.
Shoot, what was your beef?
Well, because you have a guy at second already. Like, to me, that's kind of padding Ernie's stats. When a hit there would have scored him and put you on the board. Like, Ernie's been one of their only consistent hitters.
So you didn't like first and third, nobody out?
Well, no, but the guy got to third. But if you hit a single there, Ernie's been like their only consistent hitter.
Right.
Like, if he hits a single, he probably still scores, and you got to run on the board. And what happens? Like, bases loaded, no outs. Guess what? They didn't score.
In a 3-1 game, I didn't hate it. Because if you set up that sack fly situation,
but it's Yamamoto, man. You got to take where you can get it. Like, you're looking for one good swing.
But that's my point. It is Yamamoto. So
but the best guy, the guy who hits the most singles on the team, you don't want him swinging the bat. You're gonna have him lay a bunt so he gets on.
No,
Anytime you have a guy in scoring position, I would take swings.
I don't know. Who was next? Jimenez.
But you need to start scoring runs. Like, any run matters, counts. It could turn the tide.
Yeah, and if you got one on the sack fly, it's a good run. That's my point.
But they didn't. But Ernie's your most consistent hitter. So the fact that it was him bunting, that's what drove me nuts.
But my point is there was pop in the building at Rogers Center on a bunt. That's how hungry Jays fans are right now.
Exactly.
For anything.
And by the way, they screwed up. Because Valenzuela should be in the lineup today. I just saw the Jays lineup. They put it out for today.
So what's the lineup?
Well, Heineman's hitting 9th. And he's catching. Because of what you said and what happened with Shohei, I would have put him in the lineup. Then maybe Shohei hits him to get him back, and then maybe we have a brawl like the Angels and Braves last night.
Shohei did not like.
He didn't like it at all, and he kept pretending like it didn't even look like he hit his elbow. It looked like he hit him in the bicep. But anyway,
Unc Ryan in the chat. I agree with Azzo because their main issue has been leaving runners in scoring position.
Yeah, you got to try and score that run. I don't care. A guy got a leadoff double. Was it a leadoff double, that one, or was that the Jesus Sanchez?
It was leadoff double. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because they had those 2 big opportunities. Jesus Sanchez with the leadoff double. They didn't score. Then they had the bases loaded, nobody out. They didn't score. Like, yeah. Can I play my Schneider clip here?
Hold on. Can I say one thing about Valenzuela? Because
I like him. I hope he.
Well, guess who really likes him? Schneider. That was his 3rd major league game last night.
Yep.
For Schneider to leave Valenzuela in the game with the bases loaded, Heineman is going to get DFA'd within the next month.
No, if he proves his worth, I'm telling you, I'm hoping he can be the better backup.
Tyler Heineman.
No
is
offense
gone.
to Heineman.
No, I don't care. Offense to Heineman. He's gone. You thought a kid in his 3rd game ever was a better option than Tyler Heineman with the bases loaded? That's crazy.
I am curious to see how much they play. I was surprised he got the start last night, to be honest with you, but like I like it. And I want to see how much they put him in, how much consistency, if they rotate them every day or who gets more play.
I have to be honest, and I hate this phrase, but it fits. Valenzuela looks like a ball player.
He does.
He looks like a ball player.
100%. I agree with you.
Just ride it.
I agree with you 100%. Anyways, and also, like there's some mention in the chat, as long as we're ahead of IKF, and all those people say, well, at least we're not Boston. If Boston wins today, and they're playing, I believe, at 1 or 130, and Jays lose, you guys they have the same record as Boston.
That's true. Yeah. And
There's no more saying, well, look how bad Boston's doing, because that could change tonight. That could 100%. Definitely change, and they could both be in the basement of the AL East.
Okay, so we have a couple more clips here from yesterday. Did you hear the Gosman scrum after
I did.
So Gosman,
so then on the balk, like I've always wondered how they consider that coming step, but apparently they did examine this, and they
it was close.
They came to the agreement that he does pause at the end.
It wasn't Schneider made it look way more black and white than it was.
Right.
It wasn't.
No.
It wasn't.
He did quick pitch.
Yes.
Like we got to say, it was a slide step, but he does do that on occasion. Yep. It was the first time he did it last night. It threw the ump off, and he called the balk because he didn't know what to call. He just looked different than every other pitch.
But I didn't even pull the balk clip for Gosman because I'm kind of getting a little tired of it.
Of course. But there's nothing there.
There's nothing
That's
there.
It.
So they went more big picture with Gosman postgame. And again, he brought up the flu that's in the Jays clubhouse. And Gosman, I have to say, I didn't notice it during the game. He had flu eyes. Like he looked like
something was
low energy.
Yeah, they all do.
And even then, Gosman pitched decent last night, I thought.
Definitely.
So this is Kevin Gosman after the game, once again pointing at the flu.
That was what we're going through right now. I mean, the last week has been, pretty rough. We've lost a lot of guys. A lot of guys are sick and, banged up. But, that's no excuse. We got to go out there and do our best to try to win ball games. And, we're falling short right now. But, have all the confidence in the world in all those guys in that room. And, but we just need to play better.
Were you not feeling well the last couple of days as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's, it is what it is. Like I said, you still got to go out there and do your job. I've pitched sick before, and it's no fun, but, you still got to go out there. They don't really feel too bad for you, They have no idea. So, you just got to go out there and do your job.
I hate excuses.
Yep. Of course.
Now, the excuse of
trust me,
we have five starting pitchers out is a pretty damn good excuse.
A whole rotation, a guy's hurt.
That's a pretty good excuse.
Yeah.
But the I'm sick, where do you stand on I'm sick? Where do you stand on that?
I mean, it's been a week now, right? Like when did Lauer get pushed back? That was like at the end of last week.
End of last week. It was Chicago.
Yeah. Or over the weekend. Sorry.
But like it will, in fairness, historically, these kind of things,
what are you going to do?
It'll take a week to run through any room, a classroom, a work environment. I don't care where you are.
Like you said earlier, isn't every team going to go through this at some point this year? Like you got to battle through it. Like, I'm sorry. And again, you faced Chicago, you faced Colorado. Like you can battle through this stuff. I get it with the Dodgers is something. And hey, let's be fair. Like you said, Yamamoto's one of the best pitchers in this league. They had some good at-bats last night. They just couldn't score with the guy on.
Yep.
Like their at-bats to me, like they battled him at times. Their at-bats looked better to me last night, even though they lost, than they did for the whole past week. So I'll give them credit on that. Like they were dialed in a bit. I don't know. Everybody goes through it. Sometimes you have to. Okay. I don't know. Like
Patrick in the chat, we need a flu game
from somebody.
And there was someone else. Forgive me, I lost the comment, but somebody suggested it was. It might have been one of the 100,000 hot dogs that were sold last night.
Yeah, over 100,000
to the flu game. That's a lot of hot dogs. A lot of hot dogs.
Let me say this: Vladdy doesn't look sick to me. He looks frustrated, and I don't know how. I don't know if I've ever seen Vladdy that frustrated at the beginning of the year.
This early, I've never seen it.
It's crazy. Like
I've never seen
he looks super frustrated, like so angry at everything.
Well,
like is that the pressure of the contract?
Hold that thought, because we have John Schneider here talking about offensively. Once again, John Schneider loves to talk about the offense.
Well, it's true. It's their biggest problem. It's their biggest problem.
Right bullpen usage. Well, I think they have a lot of issues.
No, but this is their biggest one. You don't score runs, you're not going to win.
I think long term, the bullpen is
long term. I'm talking about right now, dude. Right now, they're not scoring runs.
Listen, their bullpen. I know they had an okay night last night. With respect, bullpen's been an issue too.
I agree.
Bullpen's been a major
But
issue.
right now, they need to score runs. They're not
All
hitting with runners in scoring position.
All right.
I
So,
can't find that.
hey, John Schneider, talk about scoring run.
The way out of it is, someone needs to get the big hit. There's opportunities that are out there, and it's just a matter of who's it going to be. You never know who it's going to be. Could happen early, could happen late. Today was the seventh inning. Bases loaded, nobody out, and it'll happen. Runners in scoring position is such a weird thing. It ebbs and it flows. I know we were really good last year. Started slow, but got after it. So hopefully it turns. That's it. You got to kind of just stick with it.
That's John Schneider after the game. Dan in the chat said, I think the Game 7 loss just boiled over to start the year. It still hurts.
Yeah. Well, without a doubt. And here's my thing, to go back to Ernie and the bunt. That bunt is amazing when everybody's hitting like they were at the end of the year, when you can count on the next guy to come through in a single. You can't count on that in this lineup right now.
No, you can't.
Nobody's hitting, which is why Ernie, as your most consistent hitter, which is why he's getting moved up in the order, should take a swing there, try and get a single, try and get that guy in at second. That was my point on Ernie bunting instead of taking a swing there, because you need one big hit that could turn it. And that could have been it.
So even in a 3-1, look, I hear what you're saying. I just want to clarify.
No,
even in a 3-1 game,
to me, yes,
you just want to be swinging for the gaps.
Yes. Well, score a run when the guy is in scoring position. Like if it's to get him from first to second, maybe okay. But like he caught him off guard there, because I would have expected him to hit too. Because you have a guy in scoring position, nobody else in the lineup is hitting. Put all the guys on base you want, because they're not going to score because nobody's hitting. Ernie's your most consistent hitter. Let him take a swing there, trying to score that run. One run could trigger something. You got to get them going. Again, at the end of last year, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. Last night, I had a problem with it.
To the listening audience and the viewing audience, we had a quick conversation before the show, and Azzo said to me with a straight face, we don't have that much Blue Jays stuff.
I know. I'm only halfway down my
notes. 12:36 p.m. Eastern. We've been doing this now for 36 straight minutes. By the way, we're the only show that goes live every day in Southern Ontario that doesn't take a break. We go straight through. And Azzo was like, we don't have that much stuff.
And I got another thing on the Jays. You know what? Maybe it's not the lineup. You know what's frustrating me more than anything is the defense. Like, where did their solid defense go? So, like, bullpen is third on this list for me now.
Well, hold that thought. One bullpen comment from Dr. Maximili and Arturo in the chat. There's no way I got that right.
Yeah, no, I think so. You nailed it.
Dr. Max has shown up.
That. That's perfect.
Dr. Max writes the following. Jay's bullpen, even healthy, is garbage.
It's not garbage.
You can't win in this era of baseball without the bullpen. I agree.
But you're gonna.
The bullpen is important.
You don't think you can get it like those four guys I mentioned? I don't know. Anyway,
Kajodi in the chat. How about that Josh Sargent? If you need stuff to talk about,
that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Josh Sargent is the best player I've ever seen against 9 men in MLS history.
But look,
so
like,
I wish him luck going forward.
Here makes up the chat. Like, it's funny. You get rid of Bichette and your defense gets worse. Like, what's going on here? Like, I'm seeing uncharacteristic things. Is that the flu, or are they just in their own heads?
So what was the most frustrating aspect of the defense last night? Because that play in the 9th was embarrassing.
Yeah.
On multiple fronts. I love how Valenzuela is the only guy who's pointed out by the broadcast.
Right.
Meanwhile, Vladdy completely misplays it going to Hoffman.
Yeah.
And Hoffman makes one of the lazier plays you'll see and isn't ready to maybe pick the guy off at first.
I agree.
I was surprised at the takes during the game and post game that was on Valenzuela.
I keep hearing his name. It's true. Vladdy, to me, that's what I said.
What is with Hoffman? Like, people in this town are afraid to criticize Jeff Hoffman.
I'm not even going to.
What is going on with that? That's crazy. That's crazy. Like,
he's fragile.
Like, no, but I'm
I don't know.
Like, there are moments where you just can't be that close to the player, the families, and whatever.
Like,
we got to be able
to. We
got to be able to call this for what it is.
Yeah.
Like, that was a mistake 3 ways to Sunday.
But that was a mistake they weren't making last year.
Like, that's crazy.
But they wouldn't have made that mistake last year.
Hoffman was at as much as fault as anyone else in that play.
No, but Vladdy too, because maybe he just expects Vladdy to make the right play there. Because Vladdy, now I'm worrying his offense is seeping into his defense. Like, that happens in baseball.
Yeah, it does. But Vladdy started the whole thing.
Yeah,
he started the whole mess on that.
Agreed.
That was crazy.
Agreed.
Yeah, that has to sharpen up.
Yeah,
because I don't know what I'm looking at there.
They're not the Jays of old. The hitting hopefully will come around, but the defense is what scared me. Because I've said it 100 times. They won games last year because they were fundamentally sound. And what was the trust the process from Ross was all about run prevention. With those errors, you're giving runs away.
Listen. like 60% of the reason to 65%, and I'll even hear a higher number, why the Jays got to a game 7, their defense. Like, let's be serious about
100%.
That infield defense was disgusting.
Yeah.
In a positive way. And you just can't be doing this. PT in the chat, did I miss this? He or she writes the following: Heineman needs to get serious. Did not like him smiling at the final at bat. Did that happen?
I didn't see that.
I was kind of in and out by that final at bat. Like, even at 4-1, I was like,
I thought you meant the Heineman getting serious thing, because I'm pretty sure somebody else I knew addressed that.
Oh, you know, things that get brought up.
Anyway. And that's funny. Like, my other note, yeah. I don't know.
Dan in the chat, 60% of the time it works every time.
There you go.
So today we have Dylan Cease against Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani will be making his second start of the season for the LA Dodgers. Back on March the 31st, he made his first start against Cleveland, threw 6 innings and really struggled. Just kidding, gave up 1 hit. Shohei Ohtani, just to once again set the table on what Ohtani wants to do here. And if anyone's listening that's going down the ballpark for 3:07 Eastern today,
you might see a no-hitter.
Like,
seriously, I'm serious too.
Soak it in, because the one award Shohei has not won in his life. He has 4 MVPs, 2 in the American League, 2 in the National. He has 2 World Series titles. The one thing he has not done is a Cy Young Award. That guy's going to eye it this year. I'm telling you. He's going to eye it this year. The Jays better have their P's and Q's in order.
Well, for me, he's going to eye it, especially today against the Jays, because what were 2 of the defining shots of the World Series? When Vlad hit his home run off of Shohei, and when Bo hit his home run off Shohei. And there was that moment where there was that freeze frame everybody was sending around of Shohei's look and just looking off the mound after they both went yard on him. And I'm pretty sure he'll remember that.
Well, there was another image. Yeah. There was Shohei happy that he wasn't the last out to Jeff Hoffman.
That's true.
And Miggy Rojas went deep.
No, but there were times last year where Shohei's pitching got questioned because some of the Jays guys were hitting off him pretty well. I think he's going to want to make a statement today. How are you feeling about Cease today, though, after his last start?
I want to bring this up. I want to just get the numbers straight before I go down this road.
I'll let you look it up. I'll tell you my take then.
Go tell me yours, and then I'll bring up. I want to know Cease's splits against the Dodgers, because I don't think they were great with San Diego.
I don't think Gosman's was yesterday either, and I thought Gosman appreciation post. Like, he is amazing.
Yes,
he did all he could yesterday.
Yes,
like, be so happy he's your front end guy, he's your leader in the clubhouse, because Gosman is absolutely amazing.
100%.
Cease, I think he didn't look comfortable in Chicago. It's outside in Chicago in April. Weather was awful.
But he's not unfamiliar with that team.
No, he's not.
He used to be in that environment a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But to start the year and you're trying to get comfortable, like I think you'll see closer to what we saw on the second day of the season in game 2 with Cease than you did in Chicago on the weekend. Like we know there are some times where he gets like that. And I think when he feels uncomfortable, or however you want to put it, whether it's the weather or whatever, some days you just feel like you don't have it. It didn't seem like he had it that day. I expect a big bounce back today. I think it'll be a good game.
So last season in 3 starts as a member of the Padres against the Dodgers, ERA of 5.28.
Oh boy! Yeah, but who doesn't against the Dodgers?
Now, but he was getting his Ks in, like he was striking guys out, which is good. But
if we had time today, that was what I wanted to ask you. Do you hate the Dodgers? Because I find them to be I don't hate them. I don't think they're a team you can hate.
12 walks and 3 starts against the Dodgers last year.
Oh, yeah. See, that's a problem.
That's a problem. I just think Cease, once in a while.
And that's in the middle of a bad rivalry between those 2 teams, Padres and Dodgers.
That is the Dodgers' true rivalry.
It really is.
It ain't Toronto. I got news for you.
No.
Like, they hate the Padres.
Somebody said that. They're they're getting up there to the Padres level, but those 2 teams hate each other.
But again,
do you hate the Dodgers for all this that they do? Like, when people say they hate them, they're the new evil empire. And are they good for base? I hate that conversation. Are they good for baseball?
I think they are good for baseball.
So do I. How could they not be? They draft well. They sign good guys internationally. And their owner wants to spend money. Every money he makes, he puts right back into the team by offering guys like Kyle Tucker $60 million. Other owners, don't tell me other owners don't have that money. They just don't want to spend it.
Like, I think the great, don't tell me leagues haven't thrived with that one team. Like, don't tell me the NBA didn't like the Bulls.
Yep.
Like, don't tell me that. Like, don't tell me the world of soccer in the late 90s with the French national team and, around 2010 with Spain didn't like those TV ratings when clearly there was a bad guy. They're like a top dog. Like Argentina will be that top dog in this World Cup. People either love Argentina or want to see them fall in a serious way. Like the Patriots for all those years.
Yeah.
The Panthers the last 3 years. Don't tell me that hasn't helped interest. Don't tell me that hasn't helped marketing. Don't tell me that hasn't helped the storytelling. Oilers Panthers 2 years in a row. That's a dream for a league. With your best players in the series? What?
Yep.
Are you kidding? You'd pay good money for that. Look at the NBA now. It's a joke. A quarter of the league's tanking.
It's true.
Like, it's a joke. OKC, they've already won the title. Wemby can talk all he wants. OKC, you're winning another title. But it's not that competitive, though. You do need it to be competitive.
Right.
And the Jays made it competitive. It'd be nice if the Phillies could make it competitive, or the Cubs, or Padres, or someone else. But or the Mets for all the money they spend. I think the Dodgers and the notion that they're bad for baseball is one of the most short-sighted, unintelligent takes you're ever going to hear in your life. And the other reason I don't hate the Dodgers is Andy Pages was built by that organization.
Who they drafted.
Yes.
Agreed.
And Max Muncy is basically a lifetime Dodger. And this Dalton Rushing kid scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And he's their backup at catcher. Listen, they're no different from the Jays. The Jays spend on their pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much, but the Jays spend on their pitching.
No, but that was the difference. They knew they needed an outfielder and top of the order guy, and they went and gave Kyle Tucker whatever he needed to get him there.
I think this is good.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't find.
And again, don't tell me owners don't have the money to spend. They just don't want it.
Who in Toronto didn't watch the first 2 games of Dodgers Yankees because I don't think they're good for baseball. I don't think they're good for the market.
Dude, again, the media contingent at this series is incredible.
It's ridiculous.
They get followed. They're good for the game.
This is what you call an overflow press box series at Rogers Center. This is where the Argos press box gets filled up down the left field line. If you want to know how big a series is, that's how you know. Overflow series is always serious business. And that's what this is.
Was Will Smith drafted by him too? And I can't remember.
Will Smith is theirs. Yes. Yes.
There's somebody else who's having a hell of a series that they signed internationally.
They don't have a Tyler Heineman over there.
No, exactly.
We have a Tyler Heineman here.
Right.
They don't have a Tyler Heineman there.
Agreed,
They find other guys.
Agreed.
Jesus.
But yeah, somebody else having big series. I know they were talking about him on the broadcast. He's an international signing by them. Like, they do everything right. How could you hate this team?
And even Sasaki, who's kind of been a bust at times, as a reliever, was one of the best relievers in the postseason last year.
Yeah.
Like, they figure it out. Okay, you're not a great starter. What else can you do? Can you be in the pen? Can you pick up the lunch order? Can you help out around the ballpark? How can we make this work? That's how the Dodgers do it.
And just because they want to raise the bar for everybody else, you can't hate them for that.
No.
I agree with you, man. Anyways, I just want to bring that up. Thank you. Yeah, damn.
Where are we at here? Sorry. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah,
for everyone watching that game today at 3:00 Eastern in Toronto or going to the park, Shohei is going to, that's why he was so pissed at Valenzuela last night.
I agree.
Because he's throwing today, and the last thing not on his mantle is a Cy Young Award. He's 31 years old. He's not going to have many chances to do this. You need to go out, because he's not going to pitch as much as other guys, Shohei, obviously. So when he goes out there, it's go time. And he is going, in his mind, 7 shutout minimum today, 10 strikeouts. Or he's not going to be in that Cy Young discussion.
I agree with you. Well, again, and I think he had this one circled because his pitching got called into question during the World Series last year.
Agreed.
I think he really wants to show these guys how dominant pitching-wise he could be.
I want to bring this up, Azo, because 22222 in the chat.
I should be able to find that hand.
Yeah, that's at 12:48. Writes the following: the Jays will never win a World Series with Ed Rogers as the owner. I disagree.
I disagree too.
I disagree. I think, and here's why I disagree. For a while, I agreed. I disagree with that now. The fact that Ed's not a press conference guy. The fact that he sat there about a year ago at this time and did the presser with Vladdy, that's not Ed's MO.
Yep.
Ed does not, A, he doesn't have to do that. B, he doesn't normally do that. I thought, when I saw that, I'm like, and never mind the spending and the Dylan Cease, and like, it's not like you can't say Rogers doesn't spend, because that was the thing in this city forever. Rogers isn't spending the money.
They're among the top
5.
Yeah. Yep.
They're not going to be the Mets. No one's going to be the Mets. The Dodgers aren't the Mets, but they're top 5.
Yep. They've spent more than the Yankees in the last few years. Guaranteed.
I'm telling you.
Guaranteed.
That the notion that Ed Rogers will not do what's necessary to win is a fallacy. And Tony Staffieri, those guys are, the fans, I know it's tough to absorb those two are right there with you. Because your joy is their joy plus their pocketbook.
Well, he said it.
It's everyone's joy and their pocketbook added to that. Everyone wins.
But not only was he at the press conference, he kind of not guaranteed, but he said, we will bring a championship back to the city. Like that puts him on the line.
Well, the best answer from Ed in that presser a year ago, if you'll remember, is someone asked, "What's return on investment for $500 million for Vladdy?" And he said, "A World Series."
Yeah, that's okay. Maybe that's what.
That was a simple and very accurate answer.
Right.
But you don't. But you could like BS around that. No, he got to the point.
And then to see, see the energy and excitement and the money they brought on, never mind during the World Series with that run. Like, how could he not want to keep it going?
By the way, part of Vladdy's frustration as well is since game 1 of last year's ALDS, all he's known is spectacular play at the plate.
Yeah.
That includes the WBC.
That's fair.
This is the first time since maybe, August? Let's remember, Vlad didn't have the best regular season last year. He had 23 home runs.
Same kind of start.
So there was a stretch, though, as of October on, he was Reggie Jackson.
Oh,
and
maybe better.
And that carried over to the WBC. That carried over a little bit to spring training when he came back from the WBC. And now he's kind of sitting in it, and everyone's watching.
With a $500 million tag attached
with a big price tag.
That's part of it for me.
But I'm not, again, you're already hearing the murmurs of Vlad. I'm not doing that.
No.
I'm not doing that.
He proved to you he can be that guy.
It's way too early. Now, don't get me wrong. When I decide to jump off the cliff, I'm doing it hard, head first, and loud. I am not doing it with the 12th game a few hours away.
No, but
that's crazy to me.
The same way you talk about the bullpen, I'll talk about the lineup. You should have went out and got another guy to protect this guy, whether in front of him or behind him. You should have signed, if it wasn't Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger, or somebody. And when you knew Santander was all messed up and what he did last year, you should have got somebody else. Jesus Sanchez, I'm sorry, is not the answer.
See, Paul in the chat, this is going back to your question about the Dodgers, though. This is what bothers me. Paul in the chat, and Paul, I appreciate you. We got all the opinions going. Paul writes, difference between the Dodgers and everyone else is it's money well spent in their case.
So you're going to get mad at them?
No, sorry, I misread that. I thought he said but at the end of the day, though, it's not just the spending. Like, guys, who did the biggest damage for the Dodgers in Game 7 against the Jays, aside from IKF and the coaching staff? Miguel Rojas and Will Smith. Did Muncy not go deep too off Trey Savage?
Yes. Will Smith.
3 guys who were theirs for years.
Oh, dude. It's easier to spend money when you draft and have those guys just fill in. When you can filter those guys in.
Pages, yes, Kira. Pages with the catch in the 9th inning. Yes, I forgot about Pages.
That is true, yeah. A glowing catch.
And Kike Hernandez put 2 guys who grew up in that system together.
Yep. No, but it's easier to spend money when your holes are smaller. Like they realized last year they need a closer. They wouldn't give Edwin Diaz as much money as he wanted.
100%.
Right? Like when you fill in some of the holes with what you've drafted and what you sign internationally, it's easy to spend that money to fill the holes. Again, Kyle Tucker's not worth $60 million, but they needed it, so they gave it to him.
Yeah, agreed.
It's not hard. Like, man.
All right. So
data. I shouldn't.
So we fixed the Jays.
Yeah.
Data. What are you, Craig Berube?
Let's go.
What are you, Craig Berube?
Nah, I screwed up. I trusted AI yesterday and it burned me. Anyway.
That's all good.
Yeah, I know.
That's all good. Hey, I got news for you. Not the first time AI is going to burn us.
It's true.
As a civilization.
It's true. All right. We did do an hour. Damn.
You know what?
I was so wrong.
But so right at the same time.
It's true.
You know what's right? Betway. Puck drops, tip-offs, first pitches. When the game is on, you call the shots. Head to betway.ca and bet your way. Must be 19 plus. Play responsibly, please. Guess what starts tomorrow, Azzo?
Turn down my mic. What?
The Masters.
Ooh, I wish I had the piano.
Sons and
Max when you need him. Play the piano.
Sons and fathers, fathers and sons. Pimento and cheese.
I wish I could make a bird chirping noise. Yes.
So the Masters starts tomorrow, and there's one name, Azzo, I'm having trouble shaking in terms of who might be a factor this weekend.
Okay, give it to me.
There's one name that I cannot leave. Now, this player's played twice at Augusta previously. A 35th place finish, a 43rd place finish. So, like,
doesn't matter.
He got the lay of the land, literally. But he's 24. He's from California. He's kind of heating up right now, and it's Akshay Bhatia.
Ooh, I like that.
Akshay Bhatia, the California native, just won at Bay Hill. Just won the Arnold Palmer Classic. He has 3 top 10s this year.
So he's doing it.
I think Akshay Bhatia is the type of player who may have a very good weekend at Augusta. And not only is he hot right now and playing some really good golf.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the tour rankings right now in terms of strokes gained on approaches to the green and putting, two things that are kind of important at Augusta National. For strokes gained on approach, Bhatia is 9th on the tour right now. For strokes gained putting wise, he's 10th.
Whoa.
If he can get his driving to where it should be, look out. Because he can recover from some good spots. Like he's a very, very smart player.
I like that. Look at
very smart player.
Research data.
Akshay Bhatia.
Just make sure he doesn't win the par 3 contest today.
Yeah, because no one who wins the par 3 wins the Masters.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
There you go.
Do you think this Masters is going to, like, just because we got such an epic one last year, like this one's, it's not going to have the same. Well, it could.
Listen,
right?
I'll take Bryson against Rory any day of the week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bryson DeChambeau is a jackass. And I wish nothing but terrible professionals.
Oh, but I love that he's in the game. I love it. Again, it helps the game.
Once again, is Bryson DeChambeau bad for golf?
No.
He makes me hate someone. It's perfect. I want this. I don't want it. What do you want to watch? Game of Thrones with no bad guys? It's a bad show. You need bad people. That's Bryson DeChambeau to me. Love it. Love it.
Anyways, I like the Bhatia stuff. He's in my golf pool. So yeah, do it. Do it, Ashley.
Bhatia is heating up right now.
He is. It's perfect.
Like
that's
right
what you have
now.
to look at. It's a good point.
Like winning at Bay Hill, big. And he's been consistent for a while.
Okay,
So
I like that.
Dennis from Milton, Bhatia has a good long putter.
Yeah, he does.
Hopefully there's no innuendo there and it's just putting time. Fab in the chat, Bhatia, great pick. Dennis also likes John Rahm. John Rahm, if he gets out of his head a bit, can win every tournament he's at. But the he runs hot. Like he's got a temper. I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Justin Rose, Paul B likes. Yeah, there's some different names being thrown out here.
MIDLTN in the chat. Is that for you, Sid, for Toronto Sports Media being the bad guy? I don't mind it.
Yeah, why not? Why? Because we have different conversations. Don't talk about the same thing everybody else is.
No, I'm not giving everyone a hug.
It's a different point of view.
People get mad at that.
But why do people fear like a different point of view?
Because I'm right.
Yeah.
Because but like I'll tell you one thing about me, then we'll move into the Leafs. Speaking of the Leafs, perfect segue. There are folks who have not liked me for 10 years on the Leafs because I've been right.
That's fair.
What else do you need me to say? Spending all that money on the wrong guys, wrong move. But everyone's like, but Mitch Marner's great. But Johnny Toronto, he's from Toronto, so you have to give him everything. Okay?
Merci, Brendan. Merci, Brendan.
Figure it out, man.
Thanks, Brendan.
Martino, Sid is Razor Ramon.
Yeah, well, and then code you before. Sid's not the bad guy. Razor Ramon is the bad guy.
If I'm a quarter of the bad guy, Razor was.
Bring it.
Rest in peace. I'll take it. Okay, so the Leafs, we're going to give the Raptors their flowers here in a second. Trust me. The Leafs are in action tonight against the Capitals. There's a few things in the air. One, Alexander Ovechkin still has not clarified at all what he's doing next season. His contract's running up. He's 40 years old. Most efficient goal scorer in NHL history.
There have been rumors given
tons of
emails.
Tons of rumors. So we're not playing it for you, but the Washington Capitals posted earlier today an interview with one of their local kind of affiliate reporters who does Caps games locally with Ovechkin. And basically it was announcement to announce that Ovechkin will make his announcement later. He said he's going to make his announcement about retiring in the summer, which reeks to me, press release, he's out. If you're in Toronto tonight, this is probably going to be it for Ovechkin. And if you swim in that type of nostalgia, some good tickets actually might be available on the secondary markets.
For sure.
So if you want to see one of Ovechkin's final games potentially, go tonight.
Are you okay with that if he makes the decision in the offseason?
Yes. You know why? Because that chase for the goal scoring record was exhausting.
Yeah.
And his family
but the fact that you don't know this,
but
is
his family
last
hopped on like 30 planes a week to follow him around for that. I think the last thing Ovechkin wants is another one of those. He owes nothing to that fan base anymore. He's done everything. He owes nothing to the organization. If he wants to put out a text and say, God bless everyone, I'm going home,
okay,
he's entitled to that.
That's fair.
Because that goal scoring chase was essentially a goodbye. Do you want 2 of those? I don't know.
No.
I've been a part of like goodbyes in broadcasting before. It gets old, man. It gets old.
That's fair.
So if Ovechkin wants to go down this route and say it in the summer, I completely understand it.
I agree with that.
I do. I completely understand.
Because that makes it weird too, right? Do teams have to honor you? Do they give you something like the gift basket thing or the when they went through that in baseball? It was so bizarre and weird.
But
Mariano Rivera and then Derek Jeter.
Well, the Jeter one was just ridiculous.
It was stupid.
But like, what you going to bring Gretzky back for another ceremony for Ovechkin? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
like,
it's true. It's fair.
You've already done it. I don't want 2 of those. If I'm Ovechkin, I don't want 2 of those. I'm fine. God, the organization's already done right by him. He's done right by the organization. He has the goal record. They've won a Stanley Cup together. What more do you want in that relationship?
Yep.
It's been perfect. It has been absolutely perfect. Maybe one more cup, if you want to get picky about it. Maybe they had a good enough team to win another cup. Whatever. They got their cup. So if Ovechkin goes down that road, I'm fine with it. So that's one part of the Leafs game tonight against Washington. The other part I find insanely fascinating because if you look ahead at the Leafs schedule, they got Washington tonight. It's a Wednesday night, so that's a Sportsnet game tonight. And then looking ahead, the Florida Panthers are in town on Saturday. One team is tanking, the other team is the Leafs. So for those who haven't been following the Panthers, like the Panthers lost, they dropped one last night. And they are right now very much looking ahead to the draft lottery. The Panthers were in Montreal, and they lost in a shootout. Now, they did pick up a point. I don't think the Panthers wanted to do that. But the Panthers lost to Montreal. Here are the Panthers currently not playing for them ahead of Saturday's game against the Leafs, with both the Leafs and the Panthers like trying to lose games. Or it would be beneficial if either lost a game. Dmitry Kulikov out, and they just announced within the last 12 hours or so he's done for the year.
Yeah.
Matthew Tkachuk out. Evan Rodrigues out. Aaron Ekblad didn't play last night. Gadjevich, injured reserve. Reinhart out. Barkov, injured reserve. Anton Lundell out. Nico Mikkola out. Brad Marchand. The Panthers are doing everything they can to get the first overall pick because they have a top 10 protected pick coming off the Seth Jones trade. So you have the Panthers going into Saturday. And then you have the Leafs, whose organizational president, Keith Pelley, a little over a week ago, said, we do not believe in tanking. Okay? We don't believe in tanking. We are above it. And the fan base might be angry, but too bad is essentially what he said. He didn't say it in those many words, but he said it.
And the coach in the past has told you pretty much the same thing because he plays all his stars 20 plus minutes a night.
Yes. So Pelly says that. You and I come in the room the next day. And I basically call him crazy. I'm like, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard an executive say.
And remind people why.
Because tanking will get you good players.
Like?
Austin Matthews.
Right. That's how they got Austin Matthews. Say it again, because it's the truth.
Austin Matthews. So we're all living in a world, and there are people going, well, what do you want him to say? You know, he has to say that.
Viper here has it. Pelly can't admit to tanking even if he wanted to, though.
No, but you can admit to it by who you play and who you don't play.
Right.
And the Leafs on and off the ice have admitted we're not tanking.
When your power forward says, I have a knee that's killing me and it won't get worse, so I'm going to keep playing, you have a reason to say that guy's not going to play.
When William Nylander is literally flipping the bird to TSN.
You have a reason not to play.
He's begging not to play. Begging. But Pelly says we're not tanking. The coaching decisions from Craig Berube, clearly they're not tanking. So I believe they're not tanking.
It's obvious.
I believe they believe that, is my point.
They started playing their best hockey.
I am pushing back on the notion that they're just saying this for show. No. They have walked the walk on this since January. However, there was a development yesterday that I did not see coming. So yesterday, it was actually a busy day down at Scotiabank because it was Easter Seals Day, and the Leafs spent time with some amazing kids and families after practice, and it's the Easter Seals relationship with the Leafs and
long-standing and awesome,
decades. Yeah. It goes back decades, and it's a great thing. But before they went out onto the ice to kind of to skate around with some amazing kids and families. Craig Berube spoke to the media. And the one thing that did happen yesterday was a couple of Marlies were asked to show up for practice in forward Luke Hames and defenseman William Villeneuve. Who are they? They're Marlies. You probably don't know them, but they're Marlies. And they've been riding buses all year. And if you're going to give a kid a shot or a young pro a shot, why not? See, tanking teams would have called these guys up a while ago.
Right.
And if they play well, it's out of your hands. But like, you can give people opportunities and tank at the same time. Like, this is very possible.
Well, and if your team's not playing well and your defense is one of the main reasons you're not playing well,
yes,
you could maybe give somebody else a shot or mix up some pairings.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this forward and defenseman, Hames and Villeneuve from the Marlies, were asked to be part of the practice yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So after the practice is over, Berube is asked flat out if either player is being eyed to go into the lineup against the Capitals this evening.
Should they expect any playing time?
Yes. And Berube slipped. Okay.
He sure did.
And said there, and the line I need you to pay attention to here is he says, we may have some situations arise, not injury related.
No, not injuries.
Not injuries, but did Craig Berube, as you listen to this, accidentally admit finally to a soft tank between now and the end of the season? Listen to the clip.
Plan for Hames and Villeneuve, should they expect some action?
I don't know. I mean, I think we're just dealing with some, not injuries, but stuff where it could keep guys out. So it's nice to have them guys up here to get acclimated to things. And if we need them, we'll get them up here.
Not injuries.
We're dealing with some stuff, not injuries that might keep guys out. What could that be?
Maybe it's the Jays flu.
Maybe
it's the Jays flu.
Maybe something's rubbed off on the Jays from this.
But Azo, can you play that again?
Of course.
Because I just heard Craig Berube say they're going to just sit guys, and
even though they're not injured,
and it's a swerve again from an organization that I can't quite wrap my head around. Like, let's all as a group hear this one more time.
Plan for Hames and Villeneuve, should they expect some action?
I don't know. I mean, I think we're just dealing with some, not injuries, but stuff where it could keep guys out. So it's nice to have them guys up here to get acclimated to things. And if we need them, we'll get them up here.
It is no longer team tank. It is team stuff that can keep guys out.
That's fair. Then they're not saying tank.
But now, keep in mind, both Hames and Villeneuve this morning were sent down to the Marlies. I think they had a 10:30 a.m. game today. I think there was a matinee. So I don't know if either are back up with the team just down the street. For those not familiar with Toronto, it's not far between Coca-Cola Arena and Scotiabank. So I don't know if Hames or Villeneuve are going back. But if it's not injury related and you have to keep guys out, what the hell? Is it a clerical error? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
But I have a theory here.
Okay.
My theory is this. With Florida, never mind the Caps tonight. With Florida coming into town Saturday and not playing anyone, I think the Leafs are worried how that's starting to look finally. I think someone in the organization is afraid the Panthers will get a higher pick than them this year. And somebody in the organization has finally said, what are we doing here? Because no one said that since January. I think they're freaked out at that look on Hockey Night in Canada, is what I think. And I think finally, the tanking discussion, way too late for this.
Oh, yeah.
Now, keep in mind, the Leafs are 3 points out of the bottom 5.
Even by doing this, they're still on the cusp of tanking.
And even if they tank properly in the final 5 games of the year, everyone's on the cusp because it's a draft lottery.
Right.
On May the 5th. So no one knows what's going to happen. But did someone, Azo, based on those comments and Florida coming to town Saturday, finally say inside the Leafs organization, what is the argument against playing a few more Marlies?
Yep.
Because I think that's exactly what happened. And Craig Berube, who isn't exactly John Cooper in front of a microphone, let it slip.
You know what else he said yesterday? I don't know if it was before or after, and I wrote it down. Said he sees value in getting young guys games at the NHL level. Sorry. He sees value in getting young guys games at the NHL level. and then he paused for a minute. He says, well, like 1 or 2. Like he couldn't have played them this whole time. Like it has to be in this final 4 or 5 games. And then something else I heard this week, or a real respected guy we reference all this time, said being around this team, they still do want to win. They want to play spoilers for some of the teams they want to play.
Why?
I know.
Who cares?
I heard that this week from somebody around this team a lot.
Why do you care about that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is the
so maybe that's
thing
why
I've
the
ever
message
heard.
had to come down from somebody.
So the Panthers cared about the playoff race for first in the Atlantic last night, going into Montreal, sitting all those guys. They cared about that. Why can't you do anything properly?
Yep. I heard they want to play spoilers for the Islanders and the Sens.
What is wrong with the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yeah.
Why do you think you're so much smarter than everyone else? You're not. You're not.
But dude, the messaging with this organization is just lost anyway. Like even if they wanted to tell them, they don't know how.
Viper in the chat. Panthers were also smart enough to top 10 protect their first rounder.
That's a good point. You know what?
Viper be viping.
You know what else I started wondering with the retool? And maybe we can't get into this today. There's no chance. Even if they get a top 5 pick, what's the chances the new GM does a Brian Burke and tries to flip it right away for the retool? Like he did for Kessel. What was that? The 2nd overall pick?
It was high.
What if that's the mandate, even if they get this pick? Anyways, it's for another day, depending on the GM. But like I started having visions of Brian Burke coming in and going after Kessel when they weren't really close. And going after Kessel to try and put them like that was a retool, right?
If the Keith Pelly plan plays out the way he vocalized it, that's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. Someone thinks, but the joke here is Burke didn't have no movements. Yeah. This next GM and president coming in are going to be completely handcuffed.
No, but that's why they'd flip the pick.
If they get the pick.
If they get it. If they get the pick, do they just flip it because your hands are tied with all the no movement clauses? And then you're putting back your prospect pool even more.
You know what? Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess.
Flip the pick.
I mean, I guess.
Trade more of your future for 7th in the Eastern Conference.
But does it not seem like they might?
Go ahead. Yeah, no, they're going to do that. Sonny Meta or whoever gets the job is not rebuilding a damn thing. They're not. They're not, because this team is panicking because of the Rogers TV contract. Panicking. The Leafs cannot be an irrelevant TV product for the next 10 years. Yeah. They cannot. And now that ship may have already sailed. You may have lost control of that. Because I've never seen bad contracts like this in my life on one team. I've never seen it.
I don't think anybody has.
With respect to whoever, whichever agent is going to suggest their person to the Leafs as the top candidate in the search, which is exactly what's going to happen, good luck to you. Good luck to you. But I think the tanking philosophy just changed because people realized, oh, Florida's doing that? Okay. Because that's how the Leafs are operating. The Leafs have no leader.
Oh, Boston did it last year. They want to compare themselves.
The Leafs have absolutely no leader right now. And Treliving wasn't doing that either.
Yeah.
It's not like Treliving was doing that.
No, it's true.
The Leafs, there's no one in control of
But that might have been the mandate. Right. I don't know.
I don't think there is a mandate.
Everything's a mess.
I don't think there's a mandate.
It's all a mess.
So we'll see what the Leafs look like Saturday against the tanking Panthers. If they're giving Nylander and Tavares 23 minutes a night. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see about that.
If that's still the thing.
All right. The other thing I want to bring up here, because Pelly also talked about culture. Boy, did Pelly talk about culture last week.
Sure did.
And I heard an interview driving in today, and I got to give the First Up guys on TSN Radio a lot of credit in Aaron Karolnik and Carlo Koliakovo. I don't think 2 guys do 4 hours of radio anymore in this city. I think they do the most radio.
They do?
And they do it well.
Maybe Raj once in a while.
And Roger Lajoie on a holiday.
He does like 5 hours, yeah.
Are you kidding? He's like 6. He's like, what is this, a Raptors parade? I'll do it.
He's like doing Tony shift in Montreal, but consecutively.
It's consecutively, yeah. Like those are really the 3 guys that do the most radio in the country. Tony Marinaro, Roger Lajoie, and Karolnik and Koliakovo.
And the First Up dudes, yeah.
But First Up's a very good show.
Of course.
So they had on, I saw them promo this yesterday, and my ears perked up. They had Scott Lawton on the show. They taped it yesterday, but they ran it this morning.
Interesting week for Scott Lawton.
Scott Lawton, for those who have forgotten, was traded, not for a first at the deadline, but for a 3rd rounder. If the Kings make the playoffs, the Kings are one of the worst teams I've ever seen. If the Kings make the playoffs, that turns into a 2nd round pick. So they spoke to Lawton yesterday and aired the interview today. Good interview. And at one point, I believe it was Korolnik who spoke about how, like, Easton Cowan has spoken glowingly of the type of teammate Scott Laughton is. Now, for the record, a lot of people have, but Easton Cowan clearly was close to Scott Laughton. And Scott Laughton was asked this question, and then he went into a story of kind of what the clique was that he was involved in with the Leafs that would have lunch at Scotiabank after every morning skate, because the option's available. Apparently, not a lot of Leafs stick around for lunch after the morning skate.
Go figure.
This is Scott Laughton on First Up earlier today.
He was, me and him keep it pretty light before games, and we were sitting, me, him, and Domes were all in a line with Matthews, and just got to know him really well and spent a ton of time with him at the rink. He was my lunch date on most of the game days, him and Max. We were the only guys that kind of stayed around to eat lunch there, so we were always together. We had a little birthday party for Max before I left, brought him a little cake out for pregame meal.
So, again, the main message there is, and this should really surprise no one.
Agreed.
Is when the morning skate is done and the meeting is over, they scatter to the wind, that team. There is no chemistry.
Well,
for three guys,
we saw it play out on the ice, right?
We saw it play out on the ice, but like, to hear that story, to me, it's not as bad as the Matthews incident, but it's
pretty damning.
There's an element to it that's pretty destructive.
Yeah, damning.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I've been in work environments where I wanted to get the hell out of there at some point. It happens. A lot of people listening and watching know exactly how that feels. It's not a fun place to be in because you feel like you're not the problem. I've been in that situation. Hell yeah, I've been in that situation where you just want to get the hell out. And it's not fun. But clearly, I think that story opens up what Pelly was talking about a little bit. And I think, you can be dismissive all you want. I think this stuff matters. I think this stuff really matters in a hockey team.
I'm not being dismissive of that. I'm saying, Treliving told you this with the DNA of this team. They're not a group that wants to be around each other.
But I want, that's a very vague term.
Yeah, no, agreed. That's true.
I want, if you're going to say DNA and culture, we got to, you've opened the door to some specifics. And now, is this the worst thing I've ever heard? No, absolutely not. But and does everyone have to be best friends to win? There have been teams in sports, they all take separate cabs to the hotel. It's it's happened.
The cliques, whatever.
But this is for three, my point is this. So good guy John Tavares just kind of leaves at first opportunity. Matthews leaves first opportunity. Nylander, that doesn't surprise me at all. Riley leaves first opportunity. Marner would leave first opportunity. You're dead.
Yep.
You're dead. And people would rip on the Muskoka Five back in the day with the Leafs and some of those cliques. At least there were cliques.
Yep.
Some of them weren't the most healthy things you've ever seen, but it's at least on the ice you could see they'd fight for each other once in a while. These guys, they're ghosting. Some of the highest paid players in the league are ghosting each other right away. And I'm like, wow.
For me, it's a perfect time to come out because counter that with what changed in Buffalo this year. Same roster as last year. What happened? They started going out for beers with each other.
Well, according to Rasmus Dahlin, yeah.
Well, I believe it.
Yeah.
Can you see it? I could see it.
I could see it. I'm just where's where's this Tavares leadership I keep hearing about?
Come on.
What are we doing here?
Come on. But again, we knew this.
I didn't know that.
Well, no, that's pretty damning. That confirms.
I didn't know that. And because it's not just I'm picking on the core. There's no Oliver Ekman-Larsson in that room based on this story. There's no Jake McCabe based on this story. I didn't hear Nick Waugh's name in this story. Some veteran guys.
What I'm saying is it confirms what you see on the ice.
100%. That's my point. I think culture's a very intricate thing. And it's way more complicated than no one stuck up for Matthews. I think it's way more nuanced than that.
It's not just on the ice.
And it's not just on the ice. that stuff, you got to be together at some level. And it can't just be like the rookie and the guy who's been there since last year's deadline in the clique. Domi's been there a bit longer, but like Easton Cowan just got there, and so did Scott Lawton. That's who sticks around. That's who preps. Oh, give me a break, man.
It is an interesting threesome.
I'll
give you that. Because Easton Cowan did say, I think he learned more from Scott Lawton than anybody else. And it is a funny week for this to come out, because I don't know if you saw this, but Luke Fox put out a piece earlier this week about the possibility of the Leafs bringing back Scott Lawton and why it would be awesome.
Well, he didn't pull that out of nowhere, Luke.
No, of course not.
He got that from somewhere.
Of course not.
For
and
sure.
It's funny. It's quoted with some good quotes from guys like Steven Lorentz. That would be awesome. We'd bring him back with open arms. He's a glue guy. He plays the game the right way. Well, and then what's even funnier is there's quotes from Berube on what a good guy is. And it's like, but you didn't give him the minute. But where's the most damning one? Hold on. It's here somewhere. Now, it might have been, who was it? Was it Nyes who said? Like, he said the vocalness in the room has gone down since he left. Like, there's nobody in there talking.
I got to be honest.
Oh, it was Troy Stetcher who said it. He's got such a great personality and love for the game and shows up every day with the same attitude. People get attracted to him. He says, with him leaving, I think we've lost a little bit of that vocalness in the room and accountability. He's saying the accountability is even worse since Lawton left. And that's why you would want him back.
If you hear Pele talk about culture the way he talked about culture, if you notice that a week after that, Scott Lawton is back on local Toronto radio, all the things swirling around Berube, I think there's an element of Pele which leads him to the retool idea that thinks Scott Lawton should have been playing more. I'm not going to get blood on my hands with Berube, but there's no way Berube stays. And the culture guys who were here should have stayed. Now, teams trade players all the time for a pick or two and then re-sign them. It's not unheard of. Scott Lawton did Toronto radio this week. Like any coach you see do radio in Toronto who's not working, they are dying for the gig. Dying for the gig. And Scott Lawton, I don't think, would do that unless he's not thinking about a couple things. Because Scott Lawton's going to be a free agent. He could be a free agent a week if the Kings don't make the playoffs.
They can win a game in regulation.
Maybe the Kings can get to 40 overtime games this year and then make the playoffs. What a ridiculous organization. I think Scott Lawton wants to stay here. I didn't think he wanted to leave. I think Pele is realizing I think the one thing Pele did that I think was very appropriate. And I know there's a lot of people uncomfortable with how Pele hangs around. He is the president of MLSE.
Yep.
He's allowed to hang around.
He's been here, a year, two?
Yeah.
Not even one.
He's kind of running things.
Yeah.
That's how that works. Sorry, I hate to break it to you. But because if Ed Rogers, Tony Staffieri have a question, he better have an answer. So he's going to be around. And
to be fair,
just let me wrap this up. I'm getting the impression the internal conversations he had in MLSE at the Leafs level about culture were alarming. Never mind the Matthews incident. I think there was more than that. Just based on how he reacted. I think there's way more than that. And a guy like Lawton, I don't know. I think it's a really interesting coincidence he was on local Toronto radio this week.
No, and all these stories are coming out. Whether or not he's on it, like he's quoted. Yeah, all these stories are coming out, and his ex-teammates are standing up for him or talking about him. All I wanted to interject with there is that Pele came in, and obviously, like you said, we've all been in those work environments where the first few weeks, the first month is a bit of a honeymoon. You like everybody. You talk fondly of everybody. He thought he had two hockey guys he could trust, and he didn't have to replace Brendan Shanahan in Treliving and Berube. And then those two guys in a pivotal year could not get on the same page.
Well, because everyone started looking out for their ass.
Right.
I mean,
so I think that, to me, that's what happened.
Yeah.
There was obviously a lot of disconnect between those two, and Pele thought he could trust them both, and they were never on the same page.
But that Lawton story, I don't want to put words in Scott Lawton's mouth. He didn't say this. I am leaping here based on how they looked on the ice and hearing the story off the ice. There are very important people in that Leafs room that cannot stand each other. Cannot stand each other. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it happened. They cannot stand each other.
Let me bring up the third guy in that group, Domi. Because it was interesting that he is a guy. Because I do think he's a guy who's always kind of gotten it here. He knows what it means to be a Leaf. He's always said the right things and this and that. And I saw this on Saturday when who was he trying to pick a fight with, and the guy wouldn't kind of go into it. There was something on Saturday.
Ratko Gudis?
No.
That wasn't.
There was another
either.
one on Saturday where he was like trying to start. Like Max has been playing pissed off. Like he's hearing all this and he takes it personally, as he should. But then it got me thinking, like, it's kind of not his fault that he got the most shifts on the first line, because we all know he's not a first line guy. And when you're playing on the first line, you got to be a skill guy. If he was on the third or fourth line consistently this year, we'd look at him a bit differently. Like he would play with a bit more grit. He could do that. He could rough it up. Like the minute he gets the most shifts on, but Sid, you got to admit, playing on the front line, first line, you can't play the same way you play on the third or fourth.
Yeah, but you're making the argument to me Domi is some rough and tumble, tough defensive third line.
I think
winger.
It would change his playing style. Like he is, but
he's
what
one
is
of the worst defensive forwards I've ever seen.
But he's a third or fourth line guy.
How many teams has Max Domi been on?
Like 11. I don't know.
And why is that?
Yeah, no, it's fair.
No, I'm just saying I don't think if you don't have a role on a team after 11 teams in the National Hockey League.
No, but they played him out of role is what I'm saying.
So
it's not his fault.
So you actually
think he's a first line guy? A first line guy?
I think he's a small guy who doesn't play great defense and is very streaky in front of goal, and he doesn't help you win a championship.
For me, there's no way he should be on the front.
If his name wasn't Domi, he would not be here. He would not be in this city on this team.
Whether or not he's here, I don't think he should be on the top line, which he's planned to spend. He's the guy who has the most shifts besides Austin on the top line.
But I've seen, again, guys, I'm seeing like Now Awake in the chat writes Domi is a dog. Others, Real writes he's a fourth liner. I would very much caution everyone to draw conclusions on the last month.
Yeah.
Be very careful with that. Very careful. Because John Tavares is trying to convince you he's still a second line center in this league. He hasn't been a second line center in this league for like 3 years. Doesn't have a 90-point season with the Leafs. Like, everyone needs to relax. That whatever has gone on here over the last month is completely irrelevant to the Leafs' long-term plans. Completely irrelevant. Now, does Domi have fans in this market? Do people like the fighting or the one-sided fight against Gudis where Gudis didn't punch back? Sure. People love that stuff. But this, I remember the stuff in November, and I remember the stuff in December where he was both a ghost offensively and a complete liability in his own end. This guy has played on 11 teams in his life because he has warts and they are serious. And if you still do not have a role for Max Domi in this league after this stretch, is that a Leafs problem or is that a Domi problem?
But
I just don't think the guy's that good, as it was what I'm trying to tell you.
And I get it, but that's why you should be on the fourth line playing 10 minutes, not on the top line with your number one star playing 24 minutes.
No, he shouldn't be on the first line.
Like, there's no way. You look at him a bit differently. Like, same with Tavares. If he's a 3 center, fine, put him down there. Maybe he'll get his 30 goals.
And you're paying him like a 3 center.
Yeah.
It's not like you're not paying him like a 3
center.
No,
I know, but he shouldn't be on your second line anymore.
No, he shouldn't.
Like, I'm saying, where these guys slot in, these guys aren't even slotted in the right place. And now you can't put it on the player. You put that on the coach or the management. Because there's no way Domi should be on your top line for as much as
I put
he
it on
played.
management. I put it on management.
That's all I'm saying. They played him out of position. We look at him a lot differently. He's on the fourth line getting 12 minutes instead of getting 22 minutes on the top.
So when you look at fourth line guys, like I've still, and I'm not saying like Steven Lorentz, this guy, he's not. Like, I still think of a bigger guy who can maybe score you 7 goals, 8 goals, 9 goals in this season.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Domi can give you that
even
in terms of physicality.
Okay,
in terms of physicality, and if you give him those fourth line minutes, he's not going to give you whatever his numbers are right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he's been one of the most problematic guys up front for multiple coaches in the city.
Yeah,
and they committed to him.
They shouldn't have committed to him. I'm with you on that.
Treliving has lost his mind on some of these signings, like legitimately. I don't know what he was thinking. I do not know what he was thinking, but I think you and I agree on the fact that it's tough to find a role for Max.
Yeah,
except at least Max behind the scenes seems like he's trying to get along with some of his teammates.
Right.
I'll give Max that.
Like, he's got that. That's what I'm saying.
That.
Like, he always fit in here. And again, he doesn't get exposed as much if he's only getting 10 minutes as opposed to 20. Like, you don't notice those little liabilities as much. Right?
I hear you. I would debate what he gives you in 10,
okay.
but listen.
We won't know because he's a top line 20-minute guy here.
For now.
Which is crazy.
There's more people in the chat that are with you on this than me. Like, I just don't, I've seen enough out of Max.
I get
like,
that. But you've seen him out of position. Anyway, but whatever. I get it.
I still don't know his position, but I don't know. I know he's not a center.
Yeah.
I know.
I agree.
I know he's not a center.
But they're tanking. Anyway.
That's what the data says. He's not a center. Speaking of data, I don't know if it was Kevin McGran of the Star yesterday.
I think it was Masters, wasn't it?
I think it was Masters. McGran asked the question about, will the new guys play against Washington? Thank you, Kevin, for that question.
Yes. It's great.
But the way Berube wrapped up his availability yesterday, you pulled the clip. Somebody asked him about Metcalf in the analytics department. And
pretty sure it was Masters.
Was it Masters?
I think the question's in here too. So
Daryl Metcalf. Oh, the question's in there.
Yeah.
So remember, last week, Pelly crowed about we need to be analytically driven while paying an analytics department. That happened. So Daryl Metcalf is running this, and listen, I am not the most analytically inclined National Hockey League person you're ever going to see, but like from what I've read, the Leafs do use a lot of data.
Oh, and he's considered one of the top end guys.
Considered a top end guy.
Yep.
So Mark Masters asked Berube flat out in one of the funnier exchanges of the Leafs' entire season, I would argue. How are you and Daryl Metcalf getting along? Everything good? Here's the question.
How much contact do you have with Daryl Metcalf and the research department? How much you might lean on them during the course of the season, what they provide?
I do, yeah. We get reports every day. Well, not every day, but every game day on different things. Our team, the other team, we're in pretty good contact with them throughout the season.
Well, that is a vote. That is a vote of confidence for Daryl Metcalf.
That truck has technology and stuff.
Yep.
Well, we get it every game day. Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
With Daryl Metcalf, he sends me emails. Yep, it's good.
You read them?
We gotta go, guys. Sorry, gotta go. See ya. Gotta go. I gotta watch Villeneuve practice.
I know he is. I see his name in my inbox. He sends stuff. Well, not every day on game days.
So what? So your opinion of that answer is what? He hates the analytics department, or he tolerates.
To be honest, I don't know. You pointed out. I came in. I'm like, here he is saying, yeah, he likes the analytics he gets or the data he gets, and you're like, well, he never says he likes it. And now when I listen to it, yeah, you're right. He does. He doesn't say anything about it except that he gets it.
You know what I find in every corporate structure is if you ask a person about another person and the person you're asking does not care much for the other person, the answer you get back is, yeah, I've run into him a couple times. Or run into her a couple times. Like that is universal.
It's true.
I have no interest in ripping this person in an open hallway right now. If you got me in a room, I'll talk about it.
Snail in the chat says he sounds so excited. Dan Joseph says, yeah, we've talked. That's it. That's all you say. Yeah, that guy exists. Like, it's all over the place.
That's definitely a person that's emailed me. Yep. No question about it.
Mike says, did Pele call him McCaffrey? Like he got his name wrong? like the prospects?
Oh, yeah. Hagee and
oh, man.
Daryl Metcalf.
It's just interesting. And again, why are we so focused on this data-driven thing now? It's driving me nuts.
Because Pelly spoke about it for 20 minutes.
I know.
That's
now
why.
the guy has to be. Like, we don't have time for this because it's 1:30. We got to get into the wraps.
They're all analytically driven. Hold on. One last leaf.
Well, I wanted to say, I don't know why Sonny Mehta is the right guy. I think we brought this up the day Treliving got fired. I think one of the other AGMs, because they have 3 in Florida. I think one of the other guys as the AGMs in Florida is a much better fit for this.
So what's the name?
What was it? Brett Peterson.
In Florida.
In Florida. He's the other AGM. He works with USA Hockey. He's actually, I think it was after the Olympics, though. I thought it was before. It was after the Olympics. He was assigned as GM of the 2025 USA national team. Like, here's a guy who works.
Sorry, you mean like the world championship team?
I guess, yeah. It didn't quite clarify, but it did say that. So, like, Brett to me would be the guy, Brett Peterson. So the notes I wrote on him, he has a history with player development. That's pretty good. He has a history with USA Hockey. So I'm guessing he has a bit of a relationship with Austin Matthews. Like, isn't that a guy you want to have that tough conversation with Matthews?
So he can find the next American captain to want out of Toronto.
Right.
Good.
No, but maybe he has Matthews' trust. Like, maybe he can have a real legit conversation with Matthews because he's spent a history with USA Hockey and they've kind of groomed him, right? He's a former agent, which we see works sometimes in this league.
Okay.
He led the hockey department for Wasserman, or how you say that? That big Wasserman agent, one of the biggest agencies. Yeah. He led their entire hockey division. He's been mentored by Bill Zito, which we all agree would be a plus.
Yes, check.
He's from Boston, has worked for Florida, so he has a good account on all the division. Like, to me, I don't know, because it got me thinking, whoever pointed out in the chat, like, I didn't know too much about Sonny Mehta. And I went and looked and, like, yes, ex-poker, but, like, he's got a really interesting but kind of weird background. Like Brett Peterson is a guy who is a hockey mind, who has worked through it, who works with USA Hockey, who they're trusting. If USA Hockey's going to trust their national team with this guy, I'd trust them.
See, I don't know Sonny Meta enough to suggest he's not a hockey mind, though.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's the.
But he seems to be more data-driven analytics, like player development. I don't know.
No, but listen, those are all valid points. Good argument.
But I think the USA Hockey thing could be big too.
You are Peterson's agent in this moment, in this market.
Yeah. Hey, me. I'm his Neil Glasberg.
I do feel like I don't know. I feel like a maverick is needed at this point.
Yeah.
I think someone a little different. I don't know why.
But Brett Peterson might be.
I like the fact Meta's kind of got poker in his background.
Nah.
I don't know why I like that. I kind of like that.
By the way, I wanted you to bring up Shanahan today. So you want to get into the Shanahan thing?
Let's do Matthews first.
Okay.
Locker clean.
Well, okay. Because my point is, if Shanahan goes where all these rumors are saying, which is where?
New Jersey.
You know where Sonny Meta's from?
He's from Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh my God. They're going to lose Sonny Meta to
Brendan Shanahan in New
God.
Jersey. If I'm the writer for WWE writing a storyline, that's what I want. New Jersey to hire Brendan Shanahan and him to steal Sonny Meta from the Leafs. That's what I want.
But the Leafs,
that would be amazing.
The Leafs are going to get caught in this thing again.
Yes.
Where like Colorado wanted Dubas.
Yep.
And the Leafs like Dubas, but they didn't know how much they like Dubas. Like once again, Shanahan's going to pull them into some tug of war for a guy, and it's going to get weird.
But then imagine he takes Sonny Meta, you take Peterson. Yeah, just take apart Florida's infrastructure there.
By the way,
they have a third AGM.
Hey, Florida, you're not a real team unless you have 6 assistant GMs. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy in the chat, is Sheldon Keefe going to get fired? Yep. Sheldon Keefe sounded yesterday like a guy who's going to get fired.
What if Brendan Shanahan goes there? Does that save him in any way?
No, Shanahan lets them do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Shanahan's seen the Keefe experience. I think he's good. I think Brendan's good with the Sheldon Keefe experience.
Yeah, that's
I think
fair.
we're fine.
That's fair.
I think we're fine.
All right. So you mentioned Matthews, and this morning, do you want to start this or
I'll start it yesterday because you and I a while back when Austin Matthews got hurt. I think you brought it up somehow, and you and I had a very brief but spirited disagreement about whether or not Austin Matthews is going to attend Maple Leafs locker cleanout whenever the season is done.
Can I interrupt you and ask you one question about the Leafs and the structure that they're looking to put in place? Do you care if they hire the GM before the president, or do you think it has to go hiring wise, president, GM, and then
if they have any brains at Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, they'll get the president first?
I kind of disagree.
What are you talking about? Do you know the problems the Maple Leafs have run into in the last decade because they've gotten their hiring practices out of whack?
But if you think, like you said, they have to think out of the box. Like you don't mind Sonny. Like if they
then hire Patrick Waugh now.
No, not for coach. I'm talking about GM.
But what's the point? But my point is, what's the difference? So if you're going to hire everyone out of order, just hire Waugh now.
Okay. I was just going to say, if you think Meta is like the future thinking guy, you put him in place, and then you get a hockey president, which it's going to be anyway, to kind of reel him in and show him the ropes and guide him.
Having Sonny Meta feel like he doesn't have to report to the new president of hockey ops because he got there first is terrifying.
No, he's going to have to report to him because whoever you get is going to be a stronger mind and name.
But you're not on the same page, man.
Okay.
If you're hiring a bunch of different people, like the Leafs need to figure this out.
Okay.
The Leafs have to figure this out. It's not difficult. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, yeah, okay, I agree with you.
But
I was just wondering.
Hold on, but like the possibility, I know why you're raising this because the Leafs panic, and if the Leafs think they're going to lose Sonny Meta to the New Jersey Devils or wherever, they would maybe react first and not get a president of hockey ops.
No,
and then bring in Sonny Meta.
That's not why I was saying this because my concern is you bring in a guy like Mike Gillis and put him in the presidency or Jim Rutherford. He's going to want to recycle, rethread GM, and he's going to bring one of the same names.
Well, we don't know that. Hold on. We don't know that.
Well, but it could be the case. Come on, old school guys.
But
you don't think
but
they're
at
gonna
least,
want to
okay, so let's say they recycle and a retread. But the retread will be at least mentally on the same wavelength as your president of hockey ops. Like, do you know what happened this year with the Leafs? No one agreed with each other. No one agreed with each other.
No,
Treliving is trying to get Berube to play Lawton. It's not happening. Easton Cowan should play. Nope, Berube doesn't think they should play. Pelly's just having lunch somewhere with Josh Sargent at TFC. No one's making decisions there. They weren't aligned in anything.
So why are we hearing all this Sonny Meta noise before we're hearing about a president?
That's media stuff. Like, what, you can't pin that on the Leafs.
It's getting out that they're looking at this.
It's getting out. Okay, it's getting out, but they haven't hired. But they haven't hired anyone yet.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like you're acting like they've hired everyone.
No,
they haven't. So if Frege puts out a report, or LeBron or Dreger or whoever, like that's fun for us. Like I genuinely enjoy that speculation.
They're bantering more about the GM names than the president names.
They're
not getting that from nowhere. If they knew president names, they would put that out as well.
That's also agents leaking stuff.
Okay.
Like, let's be honest about that. Like Mike Gillis.
I just thought if you want a forward-thinking guy, it might not be bad to get him. And I understand what everybody's saying. Of course, you got to hire everybody in order.
You
do got to hire in order.
If you do that.
Okay.
Because that's all they've had are contracts that didn't line up with each other for 10 years.
No, that's fair.
That's all they've had. Okay. And I'm just like,
again, it was just a question.
But if they do it, in fairness to you, wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's a Toronto Maple Leafs, and they need a firm to give you 10 names on a candidate for a big job. They need help. They need a lot of help. And I think Pelly would panic and make the wrong move if he thought this Sonny Meta dude is heading to New Jersey and Brendan Shanahan. That's the fly in all the ointment. Ego and BS. That's why I hate this Shanahan Devils rumor.
Yeah.
They are doing the exact same thing as the Leafs right now. So, to quote Samuel L. Jackson in Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts. Watch this competition. Because I think they're still not that far removed where one doesn't know what the other one's thinking.
So finally, does the president have to have history in this game, like as an executive?
That one, yes.
Okay.
I think they I do. The only one I'll say can be fresh eyes is the coach.
Okay.
That's the only one else
But the GM has to, it could be an AGM. It doesn't have to be a GM.
I'd prefer an AGM.
Yeah, agreed.
I would prefer a hungry person who isn't a yes person, but is aligned with the president. If you don't have that, Azzo, you have no shot. I believe.
Okay.
Now,
it's just a point.
Tomorrow, you and I can come in here and Sonny Meta is the new GM of the Leafs. Then what? I have no idea. That I would not be shocked by that at all, because the Leafs are panicky. And if the Leafs feel they need Sonny Meta, but you haven't hired a president yet, doesn't matter. We got our person. Okay.
But again, everybody's coming in then in the same frame of mind, which I get. Like, you want to be on the same page, but they might be on the same page for this retool that's not going to work. Then what happens?
Wow.
Anyway.
That's a different question.
That's all. I just thought sometimes it's not bad to have differing perspectives.
Oh, of course.
And if you think a younger guy is better suited for a GM, like, I don't know. Again, just a point of view and just asking.
But if you're going to trust, I guess my point of view is if you're going to trust like Pelly has said, this is the most important hire he's going to make.
Agreed 100%.
He cannot then hire a GM first that will undermine this person. That is career suicide.
No, but why would he undermine him if he respects him? If it's a name that has stake in this game, he wouldn't undermine him just because he was hired first.
Undermining has gone on in the last 10 years a lot in the Leafs organization.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. That's a culture you have to change.
From people who brought in the other person.
Right.
Dubas went south on the Shanahan relationship very quickly.
Wow. Was it quickly?
Very quickly. Well, eventually it was quick.
Eventually.
It was quick.
Well, when it happened fast.
Dubas told us, I'm not doing this anymore.
No. When it happened fast. Because they seemed to be on the same page. And again, they got rid of...
Until they weren't.
They got rid of Lou for Dubas. And then, 5 years later, 6 years later, it came apart.
Got rid of Mark Hunter for Dubas.
Yeah.
A lot happened.
Yeah. It's fair. Okay, to Austin. Sorry.
Now awake. Sid collapses the future into the present. I hope I'm not doing that. Because I hope the future is a bit better.
Everybody agrees with you. And I know typically that's how the structure should go. But again, we're hearing more about the GM. And I just wondered if they would do that. If they think it's a bright young mind and they're so focused on a guy like Sonny Meta because they think he is the future, could they?
Can I be honest with you about that? We're hearing more about the GM right now because I think they're having a hard time finding a president.
That's a great point.
Because I think smart hockey people see these contracts and go, what the hell have you been doing?
No.
What the hell have you been doing?
I don't know if it was an insider. I don't want to throw out any names out of school, but some insider said that some contenders, once they heard the term retool instead of rebuild, backed away. Backed away.
Smart hockey people do not want to hear that.
They took their name out of the hat when they heard that.
They don't want to hear a team this slow and old. They don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
So you and I had a conversation a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
About whether or not Austin Matthews would be at locker cleanout, which I believe is going to happen next Thursday or Friday or something like that.
Because their last game's next Wednesday.
Wednesday. So again, for those who aren't familiar,
they'll do it Thursday or Friday before the weekend and let them get out.
The Leafs at the end, well, every team at the end of every season, regardless of when it ends, players go in, full media availability, coach speaks, and it's usually a juicy late morning, early afternoon. There's a lot going on. Now, normally, injured players do not speak to the media. That's pretty universal across professional sports, unless something has happened, like a season-ending injury, surgery on the horizon, something like that. So considering all the speculation with Austin Matthews, like Azo and I had a conversation about would Austin speak recovering from the MCL surgery on Leafs locker room day, which would be, dare I say, the most anticipated media availability of the morning.
For sure.
We don't know what Austin's thinking. It didn't sound like Pelly knew either last week. And obviously, which way the Leafs go here is pretty important to Austin. So Azo's take was he has to speak. I'm not putting words in your mouth, right?
No, I said when he speaks, I just kind of assumed he would.
My take was I 100% believe he's going to ditch that. So I was listening to Overdrive yesterday, and I think Hayes was the only one who doesn't think he's going to speak. I think Brian's right. I don't think he's speaking.
And then I was listening to the JD Bunkers show this morning, and him and James Myrtle of The Athletic, they always have a great Leafs talk. I was listening to him, and Myrtle kind of said, well, we'll hear from Austin next week at locker cleanout. Like, again, the assumption is that he will be there and he'll be speaking. And what we hear from him, and he'll get asked about the Gudas, and he'll be asked about his teammates. So, yeah, Myrtle seems to think he'll be there and speak too. And it just got me thinking again, like, yeah, what does it say whether he does or does not show up to that? Will you even blink an eye if he doesn't? Does it say something to you?
I think it says everything if he's not there.
Right. But should he be? Will he be? Is he in? Like,
but guys,
does he need to be? He is the captain of this team.
Yeah. I think in his mind, he stopped being the captain when no one jumped in for him.
I can't argue with that either.
Would you think you're the captain of the team?
No.
I wouldn't.
Yep. It's a fair point.
Why do I have to answer and be accountable for William Nylander? I'm rehabbing. Why do I have to speak for John Tavares? I'm rehabbing. Why do I have to speak for every mistake Morgan Riley made in his own zone? Every failed box out in front of the net. Why do I have to speak to that? I'm rehabbing. And on top of that, dude, you've seen him when you try and ask him a health question.
You're not getting.
He gives you one of these.
Yeah, you're not getting much.
You're not getting anything.
Well, and it's going to rehash all this stuff with Gudas and his teammates. Like, I don't think the organization will want him there either.
Oh, I would disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I think it just rehashes the whole Gudas thing and his teammates.
But listen, from a PR standpoint, if you're the Leafs and your captain skips out on locker cleanout, bad look. Assuming you have a president of hockey ops and a GM by then. Like, this is all intertwined, right? Like, if you're the Leafs, you're trying to put together, if you're going to retool, who do you need to retool?
Your captain
34.
on board, 100%.
And he'll be ready to go for next season. 90%, everyone's 90% certain he'll be ready to go. If he is not there at locker cleanout and they have not hired these folks to run the organization, your retool gets a bit more complicated.
No kidding. Well, I was going to ask you this too. When do you need an answer from him? Because Austin can't give you an answer until after the draft, after free agency of what you've done.
Austin Matthews is signed for 2 more seasons with a firm no move. With a firm no move. He doesn't have to tell you anything.
Right.
I don't think fans understand what's going on here. He doesn't have to tell you anything. If he wants to, because he believes, as someone who's earned a lot of money from MLSE, at least they're owed an answer. That's up to him. And I would agree that maybe MLSE are owed a little something here, either way, whichever way he goes. But if you think Austin Matthews is losing sleep about missing out on locker cleanout day, knowing full well Mark Masters and that crew is waiting for him and just wants to ask about his future, you're nuts if you think Matthews is showing up to that. You are nuts. And if anything, he'll say what he needs to say without saying it. And if someone gets uppity about it, just say, he's rehabbing in Arizona, guys.
It's crazy.
He's rehabbing in Arizona.
The chat is so torn on this. 34 has to speak. injuries or not. Then the next one is there's no chance Austin will be at that circus. Like it's
No
all
chance.
over the place.
There's no chance Matthews.
This could be very interesting. It'll tell you some one way or another. But to your point too, number one, it's not in his personality to give you a straight answer anyway. But like, how can he give you an answer until he sees what you do?
That's the
at
thing.
free agency
Like
and at retooling. Like this is just a bad vicious cycle.
Like he holds the cards. He is their Sonny Meta. He's the poker player.
But you have to commit to the retool before you get an answer from him.
I think he has his answer.
Oh, I do too.
I think he's known it for a while. I think the Olympics were
But his answer means a rebuild. Does it not?
I think the Olympics were a telling thing for him.
But what do you think that answer is? Should tell the Leafs it should be a rebuild, not a retool, no?
The Leafs cannot rebuild. We need to stop with this.
So then you're screwed.
Yes!
That's the answer. There's no hope.
That's what we're kind of getting at here.
Yep.
If you're going to trade all your picks and trade all your prospects and have no assets and sign the worst contracts in the sport, yes, you are screwed.
When you have to rebuild, but you can't.
That's the point.
But you can't.
But I'm glad John Tavares got his 30-goal bonus. Good for him. Good for him. Patrick, trade him now. You can't. You guys aren't listening. You can't. He decides if he's traded. He decides where he goes. The Leafs have no power. You understand what those deals are, right? Same with Morgan Riley. Same with William Nylander. Max Domi has like a 13-team no move. This is a mess. Yeah. This is a mess. And it makes the conversation around, oh my God, it's 1:51.
I know, we got to do Raptors.
It makes the conversation around retooling and rebuilding kind of a moot point. Or a moot point if you watch the show Friends.
I forgot about that.
I thought I said moot point.
But to me, like, yeah, it can't be Austin. I'm tired of hearing, well, they have to talk to Matthews. They have to talk to Matthews because he's not going to give you an answer. You have to go to him again. The only way I think you could maybe if you sell it to him and he's in. He has to buy in too. That is for his sake, for his legacy, and he gives you a couple.
Okay,
things.
so let's just lay it on the table in terms of will he speak at locker cleanout? I've been a firm no.
I'm so torn now.
I rarely do this to you. I'm going to put you on the spot. I need a yes. I'm a no.
Well, if you're no, I'm yes.
You're going to go yes? You're team positive. Yep.
And no, I think as the captain, he needs to be. I agree.
Okay, role play. You're Mark Masters. I'm Austin Matthews at Leafs locker cleanout.
I'm nervous. I don't know where to start.
Here we go. Start anywhere. We'll start the big question.
Okay.
You know what the big question is?
The future. No, but I think you lead to that. Because the first question has to be about his teammates and the Gudis.
Stop overthinking it. We got 8 minutes.
Okay. No,
ask me the question. Ask me the question.
All right.
You're Mark Masters. I'm Austin Matthews. I show up at locker cleanout. Here we go.
So, Austin, what did you think after the Gudis hit that put you out for the year?
You know, it was unfortunate that the year ended that way, but luckily it wasn't worse, and I'll be ready to go for next season.
Well, you talking about next season, next 2 years? You think this year was a one-off, or can you guys retool and be better next year?
We were in first place a year ago. We were a pretty good team, and I have faith in the guys in the room. Yeah.
So, Austin, you're saying you want to stay here long term and figure it out?
Oh well, it's an honor to be part of the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's an honor to be here, and I'm looking forward to next season.
And see.
So you want that?
That's what's.
Do you want that Mitch Marner?
I don't want it.
Do you want that Mitch Marner garbage from the last couple of years too? Like it was the same thing. Like who wants that to make you feel better at night? So you're in your Leaf pajamas like Tavares sleeping to make you feel good.
Maybe part of it's just pull off the Band-Aid, get the Gudis and the teammate stuff out of the way. Because if they are doing the retool, he's going to have to show up at some point anyway. Why not just rip off the Band-Aid at media availability, locker cleanout this year and put this year behind you and just move on? I don't know. So that's where I'm going to stand. I'm going to stand, yes, he's going to show up to kind of put this year behind him, get all those questions out of the way, relive it, and just end it now.
Believe it or not, I have some good news with the Jays.
What?
John Schneider just spoke ahead of the 3:00 Eastern start, 3:07.
Is it a Santander update?
Schneider said, quote, "No injury updates today. We're good. Normal day. Normal day.
It's a win.
Normal day."
Even if they get shut out by Shohei or no hit by Shohei, it's a win.
Now, he didn't mention
normal day.
He didn't mention the 10,000 fans that had raging hot dog diarrhea last night at Rogers Center. He didn't mention that.
That's a quick turnaround. Never mind for the Rogers staff, for the Rogers Center staff who has to clean those washrooms.
I know. Okay. We've banged away at the Raptors a lot over the last little bit. That's a big win for the Raptors last night. 120-195 over Miami. So they are now a full game up on, I believe, Philadelphia and Orlando. Philadelphia and Orlando for 6th. So right now, with 4 games to go, the Raptors are in a playoff spot, a best-of-7 series in the first round. It would be against the Knicks.
Sorry.
But they're in. A kid that was brought up a lot last night, like it was Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram that kind of led the offensive way. Colin Murray-Boyles was brought up a lot post-game last night. In 19 minutes, he was a plus 17. And on top of that, I read a wild tweet from Michael Grange of Sportsnet beforehand, because we all know the left thumb situation Colin Murray-Boyles has been dealing with. Grange reminded people he's dealing with 2 separate left thumb injuries. One that happened against the Heat on December 23rd, and the other when Luka Doncic chopped at him January 18th. So he's dealing with 2 things. And he went out
bilateral?
No, it's kind of bilateral. It's kind
What's with thumb injuries too? Kirky, CMB,
kind of bilateral.
Oh man.
But he went out there last night, and again a plus 17 in 19 minutes, and a CMB led them in defensive boards. So after it was just effusive praise from a number of people. Let's start with Darko on CMB. This is what Darko had.
I have utmost respect and trust in that guy. The way he competes, the way he just thinks about how to help the team. He's playing basketball with no agenda. He's just playing basketball to win, and whatever needs to be done, he's going to be guarding wings, he's going to be guarding fives, he's going to be rebounding, he's going to be running in transition every single time. He does so much for us and helps us so much every time when he's on the floor.
No agendas. Whenever I hear someone say no agendas, that means there's agendas somewhere on the team. Am I the only guy that thinks that?
100%.
Maybe I'm just trying to kick up some you-know-what, but I when I hear agendas, my ears go and eyebrows go way up.
Or that he's coachable, right?
Very coachable.
When other guys might not be.
It's a funny thing. I don't think Scotty Barnes is like the best quote in that room most days.
Unless he's engaged.
Unless he's, gets physically like married.
No, like he's into the conversation. It's something positive for him. Like
I gotta be honest. I don't hear a lot of stuff where I'm like, yeah, we got to run that Scotty Barnes clip.
No.
But they asked him about CMB last night, and it was one of the better Barnes clips I've heard in a while. This is what he said.
His games. His physicality, rebounding the ball, offense rebounding, being able to just guard our defense just instantly gets better when he steps out there on the floor. I think he does a great job of setting screens and rolling and putting pressure at the rim. You know, he missed some layers, but still being able to put that pressure on the rim. Being able to just find spots where we're able to find him. I think he does an exceptional job out there, and can't give him enough credit where he's out there overperforming. I think he's amazing for us on both ends of the floor, and we need him.
We need him.
I don't disagree.
Need him. That's an all-star in Barnes.
That is.
He does everything. He buys on birthdays, he gets the card, he passes it around for everyone to sign it. Does everything. CMB does everything. Well, so again, he's jacked up his thumb twice this season.
But because Barnes is a bit of an all-around player too, right? So I think having him helps Barnes out, because then Barnes doesn't have to do everything as well.
He makes things easier. And again, between Khalil Ware and Bam Adebayo, like they have some bigs.
Yeah.
I don't know if people forget, Bam had an 83-point game this season.
But it didn't count, right? According to some people.
It counted. So on top of it, Sean in the UConn, CMB brings the Timbits. He does everything.
Does everything.
So after the game, Colin Murray-Boyles was asked about the thumb, and it was a really good question. Forgive me, I don't know who in the room asked it. It was a really good question. But it was like, considering the injuries and considering how you play and how active your hands are, do you want to protect your thumb more? And Colin Murray-Boyles like almost took offense to the question. Question first, then the answer. Listen to that.
Think about just like protecting your injured thumb and not trying to force so many turnovers.
I would be playing if I did that. That's my identity, being aggressive, being a defensive pest out there, being active and stuff like that. That's what I made a name off of, so I have to do it.
Not worried about your thumb?
No.
Not worried about the thumb. a thumb he favors often. Like, it's obvious it's been bothering.
Well, after he was hurt too, there were all these reports he might be back. Like, it sounded like he was ready to go, and the team told him to sit back a bit before he came back.
Which in hindsight might be a really smart thing.
Couldn't agree
again,
more.
do I think they're beating the Knicks in a potential first round best of 7? No. But you never know. In NBA, you're an injury away from being in a rough spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who knew? This league is a weird league that way. Unc Ryan in the chat. Imagine a Maple Leaf with that attitude. We'd be playoff bound. I don't disagree.
So for him, I meant to talk about this on Monday. Like, he had his career high in points in that Sacramento game that they lost and should have won.
True.
He had 20, and then they followed it up on the Friday against the Grizzlies with 19. I believe he had that night too.
Yep.
And he was looking really good. And then all of them kind of collapsed on Sunday. But again, to me, sometimes it comes down to Darko's coaching. And like, again, sometimes these guys just don't seem like they're all pulling on the same rope. Everybody has their own offensive strategy, and each time everybody seems to take away their own piece or want to play their own offensive game. And there's no cohesion on this team, which I think he gets lost in sometimes too on the offensive end.
Well, I think part of that is, and I don't want to bang away on him too much because he is playing hurt too, but like, I don't think Emmanuel Quickley is the type of player to kind of run a multiple series win playoff team. Like, I just don't. Well, I think that's going to be one of the last things Masai did in this city. That's actually the last thing he did was technically draft CMB. Right. He was still a Raptor.
He left the day after the draft,
like the next day.
Yeah.
But the Emmanuel Quickley contract,
I figured it out. I think that's what the Raptors need to take that next step is like a really solid guard. Because most, like you talk about the Knicks, you need they don't need Brunson. They just need somebody solid back there, like a starting guard in this league who can play well every night.
Yep.
Like, I think that's what they're missing the most right now, which is why Scottie gets forced into the power point position.
So 4 more games for the Raptors. They will play Miami again tomorrow night in the back-to-back games, which really has stopped tanking in the NBA and really helped players play. I'm glad they're doing the back-to-back scheduling. It's really improved the quality of the NBA.
Ridiculous.
Really improved. All right. I have emptied my tank today, Ezra.
We did. We got through all of it. See?
By the way, shout out Alphonso Davies.
Yes.
Played 20 minutes as a sub for Bayern Munich yesterday in Madrid in the Champions League. Now,
came back on the weekend. I mentioned this on Monday, and I wanted to mention it.
He came back on the weekend, but yesterday was important because the 20 minutes he came out for was a crazy 20 minutes where Real Madrid threw everything they had at Bayern. Manuel Neuer was really good. Like, Madrid were dying for a 2-2 goal to bring back to Munich next week. I think Madrid are done. I think Munich's going to beat them. But that was an intense 20 minutes that Davies played to end the game yesterday, and he physically got through it, which is very important. Because some Canadians went back to Europe after the last international break. Alistair Johnston, after his TSN stint, went back to Celtic, and he suffered a setback. Ishmael Koné got hurt for Sassuolo. And now Canadian doctors are not getting the best rep in Europe. I got news for you. This is not a good thing. Like, club teams in Europe are getting a little pissy about how we're giving back players to them. I'm not saying they're completely justified, but there's now a pattern developing here. Topic for another day. Yeah. But if you want players released by teams, you got to play nice.
Well, Koné too.
You got to play nice.
He's a young guy. Koné's young.
And he was having a great year at Sassuolo.
He's a guy who could look at making his name in this World Cup and being a difference maker for this team. Like, I like Koné a lot. Like, I really hope he's healthy. But I thought Alfonso on the weekend was pretty key too. He came in late, like the 85th minute.
He did. He set up the winner.
He assisted on the game-winning goal. It was a great cross.
Leonard Carl, the kid, the teenager they got, is really good.
But it was a great cross. I thought that was a good sign for him and Canada too.
They just need. But again, I can't stress to you how stressful that 20 minutes was he played yesterday, and he came out physically in a good place. Very important.
Because what happened last time? Yeah, that one time where they put him back in and they had to pull him out.
They were at the Bernabeu. Madrid was dying for a 2-2 goal in the Champions League quarters. They didn't get it, but Alfonso was out there for it, which is good. All right, Azo. Any last thoughts?
No, I'm good, man. Another day.
I can't wait to watch Sequin Jacket Guy behind home plate.
Yeah, Jay's at 3.
If Marlins man is there, you know what? We're going to cut up that clip where we talked about it. We're going to post that later. Everyone listening and watching, you want to start the campaign to keep Marlins man out because I just don't know what he's doing there. Get him out. Get him out. No purpose Marlins man is serving being in a Jays game. Get the hell out of there.
Right behind the plate. Get out of here. Give that to a real fan.
Sequin Jacket Guy, at least. I think he's Toronto guy.
He wears a jacket and a
no
Toronto.
problem.
At least he wears Toronto gear every day.
The Marlins guy, out. Ridiculous. I got a visor. Look at me. Get out of here.
By the way, someone's just sent me a picture. I think they caught you at your breakfast place getting mad about your order. Look at this. Oh, whoops. I don't know.
No, that's Colin Murray boy.
It is. Why'd that come up? That's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one.
Oh, it's John Schneider and Dan Merzel.
When somebody gets Sid's breakfast order wrong, that's it right there. That's him. That's why I'm glad he stays and eats in the parking lot, because that's it right there.
Don't mess with my egg whites, man.
Do you get the one with bacon or without?
You know what? Without, but the bacon one's tasty. I have to say.
You just like the sin because you weren't supposed to eat meat
I
that
sinned
day.
on Friday. I did. I don't deserve it.
Anyway.
Good stuff, Azo. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Thank you.
Apologies. We wanted to get to Anthony Santander, but we ran out of time in the show where we dictate time. On behalf of Jeff Assaparty and everyone at Sick Media, my name is Sid. You've been watching and listening to the Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick Media. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Take care. We'll talk soon.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sid Seixeiro Show on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts.